Hello, 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 and welcome once again to Meatballcraft, Dimensional Ascension, Jimmy Heaters Edition. Who is Jimmy? Where are his heaters? I do not know. Now, for you, of course, this won't seem like a hugely long time, but for all 2 people who watch my videos and pay attention to the upload time, you will notice that there is a rather large discrepancy between some of the episodes and when they were uploaded. A lot of that gap happened between when I recorded the last episode and this one, because we had to do a lot of stuff off screen to get ready to push forwards in the pack. As I predicted, we are not going to space this pack, although we will begin the process of going to space. Going to space is going to be a bit more of a logistical problem than that. We're going to have to build some advanced rocketry stuff, build a platform to launch the rocket from, build the rocket, right, and then launch it. So we've still got some stuff to do. But ignore the magic sword made of glass in my hand. It's going to go away in a minute. But we do have some stuff to do in the meantime, okay? And we're going to take care of that this episode. This was Conjure Sword, which is a sorcery spell. Just let me go ahead. And that's going to disappear eventually. The stats aren't too bad. I was testing out spells. The Spectral Sword is cute, but it kind of sucks. It's not great. Although it does have Thaumcraft value. It has 12 weapon value in terms of Ascension, which is a little bit weird. I wonder if you could summon spectral swords and use that to somehow cheese Ascension. Probably. Seems weird. I won't do it. Anyway, let's make some chickens real fast, and we'll talk about what we're doing. So, today we are going to do a bit of a base tour because I've changed a lot, and we are getting ready to move everything that you're seeing on the outside inside, which is a pretty big deal for us. Let me go ahead and just pop that back in there. I also set up several farms to try and acquire more resources that we'll be needing eventually. One of which is a farm for killing wizards, which allows me to get spellbooks, which I have been deciphering. And I think Conjure Sword, Annihilation. Some of these are kind of cool. And let me demonstrate. I think. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Firestorm, fire attack. No thanks. We'll bring Summon Phoenix, I guess, and glide. Fire pledge. Summon Skeleton Legion. I love summoning spells. I just love creating mobs that can distract for me. I would very much be a conjurer in real life if wizardry was a thing. I don't know why you would ever do anything else. Why not have friends? We'll bring Ice Lance as well. Okay. We've got some new spells, courtesy of our wonderful Ice Giant, Ice Lance, Summon Skeletal Legion, Summon Phoenix. And do we have a... It's kind of hard to find specific ones in here, unfortunately, but do we have an Icicle Shard? That traditional one we've been using this whole time? We ought to. Ice Shard, that's it, I think. Apprentice, yeah. There we go. So, some of these spells, to put it succinctly, they ball pretty hard. Just before we get started and I do a base tour, check out this Summon Ice Giant. Look at this dude. Isn't that cool? Magic is cool. Being a wizard is neat. What does the Ice Lance do? Interesting, so it's just a spicier version of the Ice Shard? Okay. How about Summon Skeletal Legion? Ooh, kind of like that. And what about Summon Phoenix? You're a wizard! Check that out. And this thing breathes fire on enemies, although we don't currently have any, so there's nothing for it to attack. But that's pretty neat. We've got quite a few friends that we can summon for help now. Although unfortunately, this also means that we also run through magic a lot faster because some of these are quite expensive. They're not cheap spells. Anyway, let me give you a quick tour of some of the things that we have done, some of the things that matter. I'll try and be succinct because I don't want to overrun on too much time. So first of all, these are crystal growth chambers added by the AE2 Stuff mod, which is a plug-in for AE2. And what these do is you just throw crystal seeds into these chambers, and then they take power, and they will grow crystals into their fully grown versions over time. They just work. They do have to be powered by an energy acceptor, and they are capable of transmitting energy through themselves, which is why this row of 3 of them will work off of one energy acceptor. The advanced inscribers are also from AE2 Stuff as well. They are better versions of the inscribers because they are much, much easier to automate. They can accept inputs from any of their sides instead of being side specific. And they also work faster, and they think they can hold like a full stack of whatever it is you put in them. So I would strongly recommend, if you're getting into AE2 and you're starting to require lots of AE2 things, definitely look at the AE2 Stuff plugin that is in this pack. You're going to want advanced inscribers and crystal growth chambers. They're not that cheap to make, and the growth chambers specifically essentially render this setup with the accelerators in the water obsolete. I don't need this anymore. That can be torn down. That's not needed anymore. Anyway, before we get too deep into this, let's talk about mob farms, okay? Because this is all new. This is not new to me. This has been here for ages for me because it took a long time to make this episode, but this is very new to you. So I have fully automated the production of the different demonic steels. The demonic steel, the corrosive steel, the destructive steel, the vengeful steel, and the steadfast steel. How did I do it? I made a specific farm that enables it to happen. So we'll go over this one at a time. I think we'll probably do this one first just to show you. But in order for this to make any sense at all, I will have to give as brief and quick an explanation as I can on exactly what you're looking at. So let's take these diviners. Let's take some of those. And let's knock down all of these. I'm not wearing any, I'm not wearing a magnet. I need to put a magnet on. Where is my... Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no. It's actually physically in my inventory. I'm a dingus. Never mind. There it is. I wanted to put my ring of magnetism on, so I'm picking up all these, so I'm hoovering them up. Okay, so, blood alchemy. All right? I think I've mentioned this before, but in blood alchemy, there are rituals that you can set up. Rituals are essentially magical spell effects that you can leave running, and they will do an effect. They will do something for you. And they cost a constant amount of LP, or life points, from your blood network. So bear in mind that once you set one of these up, you need to take one of your orbs and put it on top of one of these altars and leave it there so it can continually have blood added into the network. So, a ritual, the heart of it is one of these master ritual stones. And then you build runes around it using these ritual stones in certain configurations and shapes, and then each of them needs to have an inscription on them of a certain color. The colors are earth, air, water, fire, and dusk. So you have green, yellow, blue, red, and purple. Now, there's a way to cheat this, or rather a way to expedite it. Blood Magic gives you ritual diviners, which can be set to certain rituals, and then you can essentially... you can auto-build them. Okay, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this diviner, okay, for Gathering of the Forsaken Souls, and if I point it at this Master Ritual Stone, you can see the shape of this ritual, of what it's going to look like, right? That's the configuration I'm looking at, okay? Now, watch. If I right-click it, it's going to start building this ritual, which is very convenient for me. And you see how it says blood ritual stone? I'm going to stop. It says blood ritual stone, blood magic, alchemical wizardry, pickaxe, level diamond, and then invalid ritual right at the bottom. Once all of these are filled in correctly, it's going to instead say Gathering of the Forsaken Souls, activation cost 40,000 LP, right? So this is now a valid Gathering of the Forsaken Souls, okay? By the way, since I updated the pack, it now rains again. I don't know why there's a persistent bug that stops rain from working correctly. I don't get it, but whatever. I'm just glad the game is working correctly again. I don't mind the rain, but hey. So, and then if we were to do the other one, and there's a reason I'm showing you this. There's a method to this. That was the Gathering of the Forsaken Souls. This is the Crack of the Fractured Crystal, which is this one, which you'll note, importantly, looks almost exactly like the other ritual I just built, except it's upside down, right? Now, why do these two rituals matter? Why am I building Crack of the Fractured Crystal and Gathering of the Forsaken Souls? Great question. Glad you asked. I think it's called... Hang on. What is the book called? Because I think I've got it on my table. Book. What are you called? The Sanguine Scientium. S-C-I-E-N. There we go. Okay. This is part of what's necessary to automate what I've got over there. Okay, that's why we're talking about this. So, we've got Gathering of the Forsaken Souls, Crack of the Fractured Crystal. If we... I'm actually going to go... do this here. Here, so we don't hear the rain. Anyway, Ritual Master. Okay, introduction, basics of rituals, ritual stones, master ritual stones. This is basically everything I just told you. Okay, and the ritual diviners as well. And this is a list of all the rituals that are here, plus the ones that mods add that add more pages to this. So, why do we care about those two specifically? Let me see. So we have Resonant Crack of the Fractured Crystal, and then, where is it? Gathering of Forsaken Souls. Okay. We'll talk about Gathering of Forsaken Souls first. The Gathering of the Forsaken Souls speeds up demon crystal growth for crystal clusters above the ritual by default. It does not generate will on its own, and still requires the crystal clusters to have demon crystallizers below them. In order to do that, it utilizes a mechanic known as uniqueness of mobs. The more different mobs die, the more efficient crystal growth will be. It does not itself generate demonic will ore, though, so you need to supply it by either feeding back crystals or putting a Tartaric gem with will into a demon crucible. This should eliminate the need for going out to farm demonic will unless you fail to supply mobs to feed it and or run out of will. Activation cost, blah, blah, blah. Cost per damage tick 2 LP, right? Okay, so the Gathering of Forsaken Souls, essentially, it speeds up crystal growth above it, okay, and it makes it more efficient. It kills mobs and or gathers demonic will in the area around it, and then rapidly will grow crystals, okay? And then there is Crack of the Fractured Crystal. The Crack of the Fractured Crystal breaks off all but one spire on demonic will crystal clusters in range and drops them onto the ground. Combined with the ritual Call of the Zephyr, those items can be collected and placed in an inventory for later use. We don't use Call of the Zephyr because we have other ways to collect things that fall on the ground, right? But essentially, these two rituals, Crack of the Fractured Crystal and Gathering of the Forsaken Souls, allow us to achieve a unique effect, which is, if we put together a mob farm, and then just are spawning mobs in, we can generate infinite demonic will crystals of the different flavors of demonic will very quickly. Also, I wanted to show you this because this is important. So, the way the ritual stones work, the master ritual stones, is that's the thing that causes the effect, right? And it reads the area around it and is like, okay, relative to me, are the correct ritual stones with the correct colors in place to activate any of the rituals that I'm programmed with, right? And that's how it turns into a Crack of the Fractured Crystal ritual thing. But it's not super picky about... It's super picky about the placement, but it doesn't care if the rune stone, the ritual stones, are also being used to do something else, which lets you do something really funny. I think this is how we would do it. So this is fractured crystal. I think this is correct. No, it's the other way around. Okay, it's... I apologize. It's this. It's from underneath, which essentially lets you do one of these. Crack the fractured crystal. So essentially, the crack of the fractured crystal and the gathering of the Forsaken Souls share like 2/3 of their runes with each other. They're the ritual stones, the exact color and placement, which means you can overlap these two rituals together like this, and they will share blocks. And they essentially, they are designed to fit together. No kidding. And they become this solid ring, right? Where they're sharing the correct number. So you get this sort of disc or UFO shaped ritual. This is both of them at once. If you look at the top, you can see it is in fact a valid crack of the fractured crystal. And then if you look on the bottom, it is a valid gathering of the Forsaken Souls. So you can slot these two crystals together, like these two rituals together like a sandwich, and it works. Okay, just as a heads up, because they can share ritual stone placement with each other. The crack of the fractured crystal does not care that some of the ritual stones around it are also being used for a gathering of the Forsaken Souls ritual. It only cares that the crack of the fractured crystal configuration. Okay, so I don't know why, but what happened is the last time this happened, it was because OBS was trying to save the footage on a drive I possess that is already full of storage. I changed the settings to tell it to save it to a drive that is very empty. But for some reason it didn't save those settings even though I saved them. So it happened again. I apologize. Not only have I forcibly made sure that it is now sending the saved footage to that drive, I've also cleaned out the other drive to the extent that there's now 980 gigs free in that drive. So we shouldn't have that problem again. And if something were to happen, if I do have that problem again, I'll throw my computer out the window and you'll get to have that for entertainment instead of Minecraft. Anyway, as I was trying to explain, essentially, I've already torn it down because there's a delay in when it tells me that it's stopped recording. But essentially, the Master Ritual Stones don't care if the Ritual Stones are being shared with other Master Ritual Stones. All they care about is that they are configured correctly for a given ritual, so you can overlap them if you want. That was the point, okay? Now, the reason I explained that, we'll just move right on, is because it has what allowed me to automate this. I have fully automated the demonic steel, the corrosive steel, the destructive steel, the vengeful steel, and the steadfast steel, which of course requires me to have fully automated demonic will, corrosive will, destructive will, and steadfast will crystals. Okay, I have almost 50,000 of each, as you can clearly see. But why? How did I do that? Great question. Glad you asked. Okay. So what you're looking at is a mob farm. Okay. And specifically, there's 4 powered spawners here from Ender.io. By the way, the reason you're not hearing them die is because I have a super sound muffler on, and it's set to whitelist, which means it's muting everything in this room, including the rain that's falling outside of the cube, as well as the death screams of everything that is down below us. If I were to switch this to a blacklist instead, you would suddenly begin to hear the wails of the damned as they die over and over again. But that's obnoxious, so we're going to turn off their suffering. Anyway, so what we're looking at is a enclosed setup of what all of that was. Now, first of all, you need to understand that in traditional, and they can see me through their my invisibility because they're wizards and they're cheesy, but in traditional modded Minecraft, you can make mob farms. Usually, the traditional way to do it is to make a box that is dark so mobs can spawn there. You will then use trap doors to trick them into thinking that the blocks below their feet are solid when they're not, because normally mobs in Minecraft are not stupid enough to just walk off of a cliff. And then you will have them fall down a certain height, usually between 18 to 21 blocks in height, so they take enough fall damage that they can be killed in one hit. And then you, the player, will kill them, and that will cause them to drop all of their stuff. Now, a lot of mods will add extra utilities and things that will make building mob farms easier. And one of those utilities you can see abundantly present in this room, which are these wooden spikes from extra utilities too. Wooden spikes rapidly deal damage to mobs until they have 1 health hit point left, and then it stops damaging them. So it can't kill them, but it will hurt them until they only have 1 HP left. Now, this is valuable because it rapidly speeds up how fast this setup can work. Because normally, the Gathering of Forsaken Souls has to kill the creatures to put their will into the aura to speed up the crystal growth, right? But it doesn't do that much damage. So normally we would be sitting here for like a minute waiting for the ritual to do enough damage to kill the enemy, the creatures here. Instead, the wooden spikes are doing most of the heavy lifting, and they are almost killing these creatures. And then the ritual is finishing them off, right? So that's what's happening. Now, my choice of here for creatures was not entirely random. The wizards are here because I was hoping that they would drop books and wands, but they don't, because I think that they have to be killed by players to drop wands and books and things. The wooden spikes and the ritual, the Gathering of Forsaken Souls, neither of those counts as a player kill, so they don't drop things that are required for a player kill, right? That's not something that happens. Unfortunately. So they only really drop the Electro Blob Magic Crystals and like Intestines and Essence. Now, the other 3 are here for different reasons. So one, I know it said in the ritual book I just read, it mentioned that the more variety of mobs are being killed by the ritual, the faster it'll go, the more efficient it is. It also doesn't say this, but the more health an enemy has that dies, the more demonic will they contribute. Okay, so you want high health creatures. The Cyclopses from Divine RPG have 100 health each, and the Scarecrows from Fish's Undead Rising have 90 HP each. So they're hefty, they're bulky, right? They've got some bulk to them. The Crabs are here for 2 reasons. One of which, oh wow, a wizard cast a ice wall spell at me, and it didn't do anything. The Crabs are here for 2 reasons. One, King Crabs have 200 health, so they're very good for this sort of thing. But also, King Crabs drop 2 things that are quite useful. If we were to look up... You remember the Aldinari that we had? Here it is. Right. We found this in the box in the dimension below Omathal, right? Found in the Darkest Depths, the Darkest Abyssal World of Darkness. Reusable. So the Aldinari allows you to craft certain items into certain other items. And we can see these processes here. An Aldinari and an Ascended Draconium ingot can create a Dragon Heart. A Crab Claw and the Aldinari creates 3 Red Dragon Scales. The Terran Shards and the Aldinari create Emerald Dragon Scales. Chitin makes bronze. Rusted Iron makes Grey Dragon Scales. The Ice Crystals make blue. The Rammerhead makes white. The Aquatic Pellets, hey, remember that, makes sapphire. The Ivory from Advent of Ascension makes silver. And then we also need an Aldinari to super enchant the Soul Stealer, okay? And it's used to make the Living Case as well, which is for something unrelated that we'll talk about later, much later. The reason the crabs are here is because King Crabs will drop both Crab Claws and Aquatic Pellets, which means I can obtain both Fire Dragon Scales from the Red Dragons and Sapphire or Ice Dragon Scales from this. This allows me to easily craft the Dragon Bricks, okay, because, hang on, they are needed to make... I think it's this, the blocks of the scales. Yeah, so Ice Dragon Scales are needed to make Dragon Forge Ice Bricks, and blocks of Fire Dragon Scales are needed to make Dragon Forge Fire Bricks. We need these for certain things, to craft certain things. So having the king crabs incorporated in here allows me to use an Aldinari to create infinite amounts of both ice and fire dragon scales. So that's why they're here. Now then, if we move over here, we can see the guts of what's actually happening. Okay, we have 2 each of the crystal clusters, the flavors, right? We have 2 of each type, and we can see they're actually growing the crystals, and then as they grow, as they appear, the ritual of the fractured crystal is breaking them off and causing them to fall into the world, where they are promptly disappearing. What's happening is this advanced item collector, which has a range, it's not something you can see, but it has a range. It's picking up those as soon as they drop and putting them into the inventory below it, which is this small storage crate. And if we open up the storage crate and look, we can see this happening in real time, okay? The will crystals are appearing in the crate and then being piped away. Now, I'd like to explain what this setup is, because I think it's a pretty neat setup, and if you are following along, or if you're in another pack with similar features, you may want to copy it and use it for yourself. I can't claim all the credit for it. A lot of this was made with the advice of other people, but just consider it a thing you can do as if you'd like. So, we have 5 storage drawers from the storage drawers mod, as well as a storage drawer controller. So, what is a storage drawer from the storage drawer mod? What it is, I need to take a tool out of my inventory. So if we open it up, we can see that it's holding a full stack of corrosive will crystals of 60 or 64, right? I also have an upgrade in here called the storage downgrade, which reduces the basic storage to a single stack. I believe by default, a basic storage drawer holds, I think, 8 stacks of an item. And then you can put upgrades into it to increase that amount or to add additional functionality to your drawer. I have installed a storage downgrade to each one of these drawers because I only need them to hold 1 stack each. Okay, so what's happening is these drawers are holding each type of these crystals. I've also, you see this little keyhole on the top? That means I've locked the storage drawer, which means even if, for instance, if this drawer were to somehow run through all of its steadfast will crystals, it will still be designated as a steadfast will crystal storage. Whereas if it wasn't locked, if I removed all the will crystals from it, it would just become an empty storage drawer, right? But it is permanently designated to hold steadfast will crystals because I've locked it, and that little key symbol is up there. And in fact, I asked sainagh if he would put the key on the table. Looks like he hasn't. He did say he would, but I don't think he's done it yet in this current version of the mod. But there is a storage drawer key. No. It is... Oh, the drawer key. Excuse me. He has added it. Oh, he's added it, but I haven't put it on the table yet. Interesting. I'll need to put that on the table then. I'll need to make another one and put it on the table. All right. But okay, so thanks, sainagh. He did in fact add EMC values to each of these. They don't have them by default because they require a gold nugget to craft, which means they don't have value by default, but he gave them one. You can essentially lock these drawers to stop them. So what does a drawer controller do? The drawer controller connects all storage drawers that are connected to it, not by diagonals, but by flat facings, in a 10 by 10 area around it. It doesn't have depth, so if I put a storage drawer behind it right here, it wouldn't connect to this one. But I could put storage drawers all the way over here, all the way over here, all the way up to the ceiling, and all the way down to however I wanted to go. It's a plane of 10 by 10, okay? And it connects all of them. So what exactly is this setup doing? This setup is extracting the crystals, okay? And then it is putting crystals into the storage controller and also putting crystals into the ender chest. But what I've done is I've given this side priority. I don't know if I can right-click on it. I may need the wrench for this. I don't know if I can. Do I even have a wrench on me? I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. I do have a Yeta wrench on me. Hang on just a second. So if we were to do... I've broken it now. Yeah, okay, so I can rejigger this. So anyway, you see how it's got priority 1? I can adjust this all the way down to like -20, I think. or or negative 25 or 30, something, whatever, or all the way up to like a positive version of that number. And essentially, this makes it a priority of where it goes in the pipe. The priority by default is 0. So by inserting it as priority 1, it prioritizes pushing crystals up into the drawer controller before pushing them into the ender chest. So what this means is it will always keep these stacks topped off before sending excess into the ender chest. And then these are each directly piped from the storage drawer to a crucible that is then putting each of the specific flavored will types into the atmosphere to make sure that all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all 5 of these will crystals are always being topped off with what they need, right? So this is a completely compact, self-sufficient system, right? Where a stack of each type is being reserved by priority to be fed back into the system to keep it going, and excess is being piped into the ender chest. I don't think I've explained this specifically, but in case it's not clear, this is a positive feedback loop of but only if you have both of the rituals running. I think it's still technically a positive feedback loop if you don't have the rituals running, but like, I don't know, it's really rough. It's like you'll get 10 cycles of it and you'll get maybe 1 extra crystal over what you put in, whereas with all of this running with 4 different enemy types dying, etc., we're making crystals hand over fist. The efficiency on this is really high because we've done all of this. So just wanted to show this off. This is what I've set up. You could do this differently. I could probably be done more efficiently as well, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me go ahead and put the wrench back, and let's go ahead and get out of here. We have a few more things to go over real quick before we move on to more fun activities. Anyway, the red, blue, white chest is, of course, feeding this into here, feeding these into here. And then I can take the will crystals, I can grind them in the crusher, and then I can combine the crystal dust that it produces with different metal alloys in the arc furnace to create these different ingots, which are needed to do a variety of things. Okay, that's important for progression. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show off, I guess we'll do this just for fun. I think it's the second one over here. That's correct. Actually, yeah, hang on. We'll do that one last. We'll do this one next. This was an experiment with a bit more of a traditional mob farm. It's currently turned off because I have these lights turned on. Extra Utilities also adds these fans, or excuse me, cyclic. Or wait, is that not cyclic? What? Cyclic adds these fans, which push things, and I kind of experimented a little bit. Cyclic also adds tempered glass. It's immune to light and explosions, so light can't go through it. I was experimenting with pushing mobs into this corner, which has diamond spikes. Diamond spikes, unlike wooden spikes, they A, can absolutely kill things, and B, they count as player kills. Then I was siphoning the loot into here, but it wasn't very efficient, and it wasn't working quite the way I had intended it to, so I stopped. Just for the record, what you're looking at, that weird steaming smoking stuff. Oh, my mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Well, as you can clearly see, that's how it would work on the mobs, right? It's also how it works on stupid players who are trying to give a demonstration. But the fans are indeed pushing. They do work. And it throws you into that corner, and then the spikes kill you. But I kind of ditched this. I didn't really like the way it turned out. It was not as efficient as I wanted it to be. I thought I could do better, so I did. But I just wanted to show this. I'm going to rip all this down and throw it away. Although I am quite pleased in how I figured out how to turn this on and off by doing this. This deactivates all the fans, and then doing that turns them back on again. I'm a little pleased with that. I think that's kind of cool. But anyway, I have a better mob farm, okay, and it's this one. Okay, so there's 2 things happening here. One of them is down here, and one of them is up there. We'll start with what's down here first. So this is the mob farm that is actually getting me the bugs, just to be clear. For this, I'm using the Soul Shards Respawn Soul Cage, and it has a fully leveled a shard, tier 5, that's spawning evil wizards from Electroblob's wizardry, okay? They are dying very quickly. What's killing them is this thing, a Mob Crusher from Industrial Foregoing. So the Industrial Foregoing Mob Crusher has a range. I can actually show it to you. If I show the working area, it should, yeah. So it's kind of glitching because it's overlapping textures. But it's essentially dealing damage to every enemy in this area, in this zone. Okay? I'm going to turn that off. And then it's automatically picking up everything that drops. It picks up the physical drops, and it also picks up the XP that drops in the form of Essence, which is liquid XP from this mod specifically. Essence can be Fluid Dictionary converted into liquid XP, by the way. And there is a full drum of it here. I should probably replace this with something else because this is maxed out. But anyway, there's also a farm upstairs. I'll show you that in a second. What's happening is all of the drops. So these mob crushers are getting power from this one flux point. It's going up and down. And there's fluid and item pipes on either side of it. All of the drops are getting funneled into this large storage crate. Okay? And most of the drops are then being sucked away into our system. So anything that has an EMC value is getting pushed into the personal EMC link by default. Okay? All of the books from Wizardry are getting pushed into here. And I guess I will go ahead and do one of these real fast, just to replace this, because that's almost full. The Mob Crusher, by the way, does count as a player kill, which is why I am getting books from this farm, and I wasn't getting them from the previous ones, just so that's clear. That's why that's happening, which is one of the reasons I've switched to it. Then I have a trash can that I have a filter applied to, so it's picking up all of the crappy equipment that I don't want and dumping it into the trash can. And then finally I have a dank that is holding all of the items that are dropping that I want to keep from this mob farm. Okay. Now, as you can see, we've got a pretty decent collection of a lot of different mob drops. You can also see that I've done something a little bit cheeky, which is normally you would have to apply a blacklist filter to stop things you don't want to take up space in your dank from going into the dank. Like, for instance, I don't know, the mob trophies or the swords of that aren't going to stack and the diamond bows and stuff. Instead, I have just put sticks in all of the other inventory slots, so nothing else besides these specific items can be inserted in. It's just a cheeky little strat you can do. It's a caveman solution to a very modern problem. But that's what I'm doing. And if you go upstairs, you can see a larger and better version of the thing from the previous compact machine that I was using. And the reason it's not picking up the XP now is because the essence is all overfilled. I should replace that. But anyway, this is what this is. This is Cursed Earth from Extra Utilities 2, this smoking black stuff. It's created by using a drop of evil on dirt or grass blocks, and it spreads. It's infectious. I believe by default they have like a 30% chance of dropping from wither skeletons in the nether. And they're used, obviously, to facilitate creating mob farms. Cursed Earth will spawn mobs at a much faster rate than default surfaces when in the dark. It'll also spawn mobs rapidly during the day, but it's a much slower process, but it can still work in daylight. It's just not as efficient. I just wanted to show you this so you can see what I've done. Also, I want to mention, because I don't know how many people know this, the compact machine walls, they emit the maximum amount of light that a block can in Minecraft, which I believe is 15? I'm sorry if that's wrong. It might be 16, but I'm pretty sure the maximum light level in Minecraft is 15. Each of the compact machine walls is emitting the maximum amount of light. So if you want, like, it doesn't matter for this spawner because it's forcibly spawning them no matter what, which is why it's on the bare, naked ground like that. But this mob farm up here relies on the darkness to help rapidly spawn mobs in this zone. So I had to line it with blocks that light wouldn't penetrate, right? That's why there's stone bricks on the sides and on the ceiling, right? So this way that box is completely dark. There's no light going into it, okay? If one of these solid compact machine walls was exposed in here, enemies would still spawn because of the cursed earth. It would be much slower, right? So just keep that in mind if you build mob farms inside compact machines. The walls do emit a very bright light. It may not be immediately obvious that they do, but they do. So this is fully encased. It's killing enemies up here, and then this is down here. I'm probably going to stop this eventually, like soon, like probably after this recording is cut. Because I don't know, but I feel like I've got all the spells at this point. I'll have to get a checklist and then go through my crates and check them off to see if there's any I'm missing. But I kind of feel like at this point we've got them all. I must, because I filled several barrels full of books. I probably have them all at this point. So anyway, let's move on. That's the mob farms shown off. That's so you can see what that's like. Let me show you what I've done with the base, and then we will move on and go to more interesting things. Okay. So, Lord have mercy. The logistics I had to deal with off screen. I had to build a bunch more multi-blocks to be able to have access to the substances I needed to turn all of these mythic void miners online, to have them running at the same time. They are in fact running right now. They all are. They should be. But getting the nethogenic fluids, the liquid fuels, the nethogenic fluid, the overworldian fluid, I don't know why you're not running. You must be out of whatever it is that you need. I don't even remember what it is, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. But getting it all up and running was a tremendous pain. The biggest and most suffering part of it was creating Adamite from, I believe it's Thaumic Augmentations. It's a plugin for Thaumcraft. Let me walk you through how painful this has been. Okay, where's the Thaumonomicon? I had it. Don't clown on me like this. I had it. Don't do this to me. Empty. Is there a Thaumonomicon in here? No. I know I have a Thaumonomicon somewhere. I don't know where. I don't suppose it has an EMC value, does it? Thaumonom? No, it does not. Hey, sainagh, I don't know if it would break the game, but maybe the Thaumonomicon should also have an EMC value. You know what? For the sake of expediency, we're just going to do one of these. I'm sorry. This is slightly cheaty, but I don't know why that's happened. Just hang on. Just give me one real fast. I'm sorry. I'll delete it in just a second, but I want to show you. I thought I had one in my inventory ready to show you, but apparently not, so just ignore that for a minute. Anyway, the Thaumonomicon. In it, where are you? Is it... it's Thaumic Editions. Okay. Thaumic Editions is a plugin that adds a ton of crap to Thaumcraft. A ton of it. And as part of what it adds 3 new metals. They are magical materials. Okay? And you can make things from them, including tools, robes, okay, jars that hold more essentia. You can make different smelteries out of them that have different properties. And they are directly tiered off of each other, okay? So Mithrilium is the first one, and it's the worst one. It's like Mithril, okay? It is upgraded into Adamite, or Adamanite. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to call it Adamite for now. It's probably Adamanite, but whatever. Which is the mid-tier one. And then the final tier one is Mythmanite, okay, which is the tier 3 one and the strongest one. So Mithrilium in this pack, sainagh has added a chicken. Let me turn creative mode off real quick. sainagh added a chicken that will lay Mithrilium eggs. Okay, there's the Mithrilium chicken egg, and there's a ton of blocks of Mithrilium to prove it. So getting Mithrilium isn't the hard part. However, if I want Adamites or Adamanites, that's a little bit rougher, okay? To get this, we need to infusion craft 1 Mithrilium, 2 Nether Stars, Enchanted Fabric, and a Primordial Pearl with all these different Essentias. 120, hang on, 120 Spiritus, 100 Victus, 100 Precantato, 100 Infernum, 40 Permutato, 40 Metallium, Permutato is change, Metallium is metal, Alchema, which is alchemy, 30 alchemy, 20 Draco, which is dragon, and 20 Visum, which is vision. Spiritus is spirit, Victus is heart, or like vitality. Precantato is magic, and Infernum is infernal or demon. Okay. This was an unbelievable pain. I made 4 stacks of it, and it took like 2 weeks to make it in real time. Just doing it a little bit at a time in my spare time. It was horrible trying to make this much Adamite. Okay, I did make it using the machine controller, the Arcane Auto Infuser. This recipe, it can accept these. Ignore what's in here now. I'll explain what that is in a moment. But it sucked making that much Adamite. Now, upgrading Adamites, funnily enough, upgrading it to Mythmanite is not that big of a deal. Mythmanite is much easier to swing. You take 2 more Mithrilium, 1 Adamite, and 2 Quicksilver, which has an EMC value. Then you combine it with 120 Precantato, 90 Victus, 60 Metallium, and 10 Kalis, which is God/superpower. And that'll create Mythmanite. Mythmanite is much easier to make than Adamite. The upgrade, the jump from Mithrilium to Adamite hurts a lot more than the jump from Adamite to Mythmanite. But I made 4 full stacks of Adamite. I ended up using half of it plus like a bit more. But it was necessary to make a ton of upgrades and additions that are practically required. Like a good example is, let me go over here and show you. A good example is going to be this. So the Dragonfire Forge, this special multi-block, it is, what are you called? Yeah, the Dragonfire Forge, is how you make everlasting Dragonfire, which is a special liquid. It's a fuel in this pack, and I think most of it is probably in here. Yeah, Eternal Dragonfire. Okay, but the returns on it are terrible. However, if you install a Mythmanite Smeltery, which is optional, into the back of it on the opposite side of the machine controller, it'll make 10 times as much Eternal Dragonfire using the various recipes to make it. Like I'll show you. Eternal Dragon. So all these recipes to make it are trash. Like, look at this. If you take each of the elemental blaze powders, it makes 20 millibuckets of Eternal Dragonfire. Please keep in mind that 1,000 millibuckets is 1 bucket, right? Because they are millibuckets. That's bad. That's just terrible. 20 mana steel, 32 runes of fire, 64 fire charges, and 64 TNT makes 30 millibuckets. Holy crap! 32 nether tokens, hellfire, diamonds, and chilies from Benny's extra trees. These aren't the chilies that you grow in the ground. There is a chili tree you have to cultivate in Benny's extra trees to get chilies. That makes 80, but the Benny's chilies are the big hurdle there. Coal, charcoal, and mana-infused ingots make 10. Like, it's just... Oh, I needed so much Eternal Dragonfire, but I couldn't get the amounts I needed in a reasonable fashion unless I had a Mythmanite Smeltery installed to throw a ×10 multiplier on all of these. So I needed to do this. And I think one of these also may have a block of Adamite installed in it. I think I'll put this back. I'm breaking it, but I need to check. Where is it? I thought... Maybe I was wrong. I thought one of these had a... Sorry, I thought one of these had a block of Adamite. I know there is one multi-block somewhere around here that needed a block of Adamite slotted into it to not suck. It also needed like a whole block. Which one was it? Yeah, it's this, the Arcane Auto Infuser. Needed a whole Adamite block. I think that makes it run like 8 times faster or something. It makes it run quicker. Anyway, the point is, that sucked. That took a lot of my time to do that. But I did it, and we are also, because of that, we are ready to upgrade to a really good set of armor. We have everything we need to ball out pretty hard. Okay, I actually made the Adamite armor set. The Adamite armor set is good. The Mythmanite armor set is better, and we'll be crafting the Mythmanite set from the Adamite set today. I have everything we need to do so. I also wanted to show you before I do it, just because I think it looks pretty neat. I think the Adamite looks a lot better than the... why am I Alex? Why did it turn me into Alex instead of Steve? Something weird is going on with the server settings for that to happen. I did not choose to be Alex, but anyway, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Anyway... I guess we're Minecraft Tradwife now. Anyway, the point is, this is what you look like with the Adamite armor on. Pretty cool. The Mithmanite looks better, in my opinion. I'm not quite a fan of the red and green of the Adamite. The red and the lime doesn't look very good, in my personal opinion. Not that it'll matter too much, since we're also permanently invisible the entire time, but whatever, right? Anyway, we're gonna make the better armor, because we're gonna be doing some pretty serious heavy lifting on stuff today, and we're going to need the better armor. There's the Thaumonomicon, of course. I put it with all the other Thaumcraft stuff, so I wouldn't forget where it was. Then I forgot. I forgot where it was. Send help, please. I put it in the place where I wouldn't forget, and then I forgot. Anyway, long story short, I had to do a lot of heavy lifting here to make this all happen. It sucked, took up a lot of time, but it's done. We're moving on, and I now have everything I need to make the best armor I can currently make. Also, these are giant sequoia trees from forestry. I planted them because I wanted to see what they looked like. They're okay looking. The forestry giant sequoia, I like the size and shape of it, but this is the other sequoia. It is the coastal sequoia from forestry. Also, all of the woods from forestry are fireproof, so you don't have to worry about them burning down if you decorate with them. I like the size and shape of the regular sequoia, but I like the color of the coastal one better. I think the wood is more vibrant and alive, and also the leaves have this sort of... They have a better color to them. The leaves here look a little bit dry, like they're dying, like they're being smashed by a heat wave in the middle of summer. These coastal leaves look a bit better. They look more alive. They look fresh. I like the look of the coastal sequoia better, but the coastal sequoia is not as big as the full-sized one. I'll tear both of these down. This was just an experiment. I wanted to see how big they got and what they looked like. Don't worry too much about that. Anyway, let me show you what I've done downstairs in the base, and then we will move on to other things. So, we have made significant progress in adjusting to the base, including I have built most of the structure for the tree, the quote-unquote, tree that our ME controller is embedded into. I haven't done the top part of it yet, but I like the shape and the general appearance it's got right now. This is what the interior now looks like. As you can see, I spent quite a while just watching nature documentaries on YouTube and just chilling out and building all of this up. I did borrow the pallets from the previous base because I liked them. The spruce being paired up with the chiseled andesite, the granite being paired up with the birch, and the diorite being paired up with the dark oak. Okay. Each one of these walls contains danks. Okay, and I'll show you how that works in a moment when we go back behind the scenes. And also, each of these, there is one full, it's not full size, but there is one extreme reactor in each of these zones. There's one there, one there, one there, and one there. And I also experimented a little bit with the stained glass from Divine RPG just because I think it looks neat. These spaces, these flat areas, are where all of the multi-blocks that are upstairs, the machines, they're all going to come down here. I'm going to migrate them all down here. I have all of this space to work with, and I also have all of the space down here to work with as well. I have 2 different floors I can work with here, 2 levels where I can add everything I want to add. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be enough space, but hopefully this will last me for quite a while. Okay. I quite like what I've done. I like the general design, the pattern I've gone with. I did the granite on one side and the diorite on the other, and then for the 2 other sides I went with andesite. So there's 2 zones of andesite, and then there's specifically a magical zone and an industrial zone opposite each other. I've also added a metal to each of the pallets. The magical, like, white rock, dark chocolatey wood now has gold integrated into the pallet of it. The two miscellaneous andesite zones are using copper trim in their area, and the industrial zone has silver blocks integrated into the decorations here. I'm quite fond of what I've done here. I think it looks really nice. I think it looks cool. It's fancy. It's not too fancy, but it's clean looking. It looks neat and orderly. It looks like a place I would like to spend a couple of 100 hours in Minecraft and hang out in. Anyway, let's talk about what's behind the guts of these, just so you can understand what I've done. We'll talk about all this in a minute, but if we were to flip over here, okay. This is all connecting to the ME controller. I also have a lot of branches on the ME controller I can potentially use that I haven't extended down yet. But what these do is each one of these danks is connected to the controller. The reason I did it this way is because I wanted the backs of each of these danks to be open, so that way I could use pipes and ender chests, if I needed to move items from mob farms or from automatic manufacturing places, and then just insert them directly into the danks from behind, right? So that way there's clean access from the rear to each one of these danks. And it's this way on all of them, okay? Also, these are facades. If you look at it, cable facade, dark oak wood planks. This is something added by AE2. It is essentially, it's something you can place over top of wiring and cabling from AE2 to hide it and make it look normal. So all of these are cable facades. You can also tell that these are cable facades as well, because otherwise you'd be seeing the cabling. Cable facade Dreamwood, right? Makes it look like it's Dreamwood, but actually there's raw cabling under all of that. And if I were to break one of them, you would see that. See, there's ME dense smart cable. I connect it. And the two cable facades here can be applied to either side of it like this. Boop. Boop. Okay, and that's how that works. So, my general themes is still remaining the same. The granite birch is going to be the zone where a lot of my industry happens, whereas the more magically stuff will be on the diorite side, and just miscellaneous stuff that doesn't seem to belong anywhere will be on the two andesite sides. So, what have I got set up here? Okay. On the diorite sides, or the andesite, excuse me, I have these large storage crates connected. The reason is because certain slots have certain value for certain reasons. The value of a dank is that each one of these slots can hold 2.1 billion items, right? That's the value of it, right? But what if there's things in the system where I don't need to hold huge amounts of them, but they're not going to stack easily, like, say, accessories, right? Or weapons, or things that I just don't need a lot of, but I would still like to have in my system. These large storage crates are going to be my option to hold those, right? Because even though these slots each only go up to 64, these storage crates have a lot of slots. Each one of these storage crates has 3 full pages of slots, all right? So this is a lot of storage right here, okay? The downside is each one of these is going to cost a channel each. So these two walls, I've counted it out. It's 32 on this side, 32 on that side. So these two are going to take one dense cable by themselves to hook up to the system, but that's okay, right? I'm committing to that. I haven't done much on the magic side yet, but when I do, I'm going to have storage drives here to store digitized Ascension. I'll explain that more when I've actually got it set up some future episode. Now, let me explain what's on this side. Okay, we were just talking about storage drawers and how they work, and how the drawers work, and the drawer controller connects to all the drawers around it in a 10 by 10. So, sorry, I need to take a drink. My voice hurts after talking for a while. So, let me pose a logistical problem to you. Let's say we're doing a lot of automated crafting in the near future, and we need access to gold. Okay, but we need gold ingots, gold nuggets, and we need gold blocks, right? We need all the different kinds of gold that exist. Well, how would you go about making those things available in your system? Well, one way you could do it, right, is you could make an auto crafter, right? You could have a machine that crafts things for you. We could feed gold into it, and we could have one recipe where we tell it, hey, turn gold ingots, turn ingots into gold nuggets. And then we have another recipe that says, hey, turn 9 gold ingots into blocks, right? We could do it that way. The problem with that is, especially in large Minecraft packs like this that have a lot of machinery, a lot of processes going, preferably we would prefer to not have processes we don't need. Okay? Just because it's more that the pack has to think about. Minecraft is very old, And this is a joke I commonly tell. It's not funny, but I'm going to tell it anyway. The oldest bug in Minecraft is that it is coded in Java, and it's the one bug we'll never be able to get rid of, right? Is welcome to Java, baby. So there's a limit to how far we can push the engine and the software before it just starts to break apart. So if possible, we would prefer other ways to do something so basic as putting nuggets, ingots, and blocks of gold into our system. Is there a way to do that? Yes. This is called a compacting drawer. Okay? What does a compacting drawer do? Okay? Well, a compacting drawer is essentially the simplest way I can think of to describe it is it can make change. Okay? Think of this block as a cashier in a store. And it is a smart block. It is a very clever cashier. It is capable of making change. Okay? If I were to give it $1, it knows that $10 goes into a $10 bill, and it also knows that 100 pennies can be derived from $1 as well. It's capable of making change both ways, depending on what you give it. Essentially, this compacting drawer can hold X amount of a substance when I apply upgrades to it. But what it does is it will say, okay, I have 64 gold in me. And you see, now we see the ingot, the nugget, and the block. And if we look at it, it says, oh, you have 64 gold. That's worth 7 blocks of gold, or alternatively, 576 gold nuggets, right? So essentially, this is capable of making change in any which way you want it to go, right? It understands. It's smart enough to say, oh, 9 gold makes a block, and also 1 gold makes 9 ingots, or one gold bar makes 9 nuggets, okay? It's smart enough to make that decision. It can figure that out. This doesn't require a tick in game. It's not a process. The block just knows, okay? So this means if I wanted to do this, if I wanted to make all 3 different kinds of gold available in my system, ingots, nuggets, and blocks, all I would have to do is hook up a single compacting drawer to my matter energy system, right? And just insert gold into it. And it would give me access to all 3 things simultaneously based off of a singular pool of gold that is available. Okay. Now, you may say, wow, that's great. That's pretty baller. And yeah, it is. It's in fact, it is pretty great. And in fact, let me hit you with one of these real fast. How do we make that key again? Drawer key. It's an upgrade template that we need. Hang on, let me do this real fast. Just for demonstration purposes. There we go. And if I make a crafting bench real fast, just to show, just to actually we'll do one of these. Thanks, sainagh. Put that back on the table real fast, just because I don't want to. There, learn the drawer key. There we go. Now we can take a key out anytime we want. Gold. I'll take one of these out just to show. Okay, now watch this. Okay, I will demonstrate several of the principles I've just talked about. If we take a storage drawer on this wall, okay, and if I insert 64 gold into it, then I take this drawer key and I lock it. Click, it's locked. Okay, this means that when I take all the gold out, I now have all the gold, but it's still designated as a gold drawer, even though it has nothing in it. It has no gold, none. The gold in it is 0, okay? Now let's say I do one of these. We're going to do, oh, I don't know, and then I think one of these, avoid as well. We'll do this. Now watch this. So a lot of these upgrades, all of them actually have EMC values, so go ahead and feel free to make all the storage drawer upgrades and throw them onto your table. It's super convenient. Thanks, sainagh. It was very considerate of you to do that. So the storage upgrade V increases the storage by 32 times base value. It's made from emeralds. And the void upgrade, what it does is if more items are added to the drawer than what would strictly be necessary, it voids them and destroys them. So they disappear. Okay. Technically, since we can craft creative upgrades, what a creative upgrade does, well, one, they're used to make the tier 7 danks. These things. They're made from electrotine alloy, or if you use 4 electrotine, 4 creative upgrades, and a chest, it makes a tier 7 dank. And the upgrades, the infinite ones, are made by smashing an object of great mass. This is reusable with a metal gear to create an infinite storage upgrade. This essentially makes it so that a drawer can hold as much as a dank slot can. It's 2.1 billion. Its max integer size is what it does. And the objects of great mass are crafted from a staff of Icica and a soul of the Grand Wizard. These are reusable, so essentially just for 7 electrotine, you can make a creative storage upgrade. Okay, so eventually I'll put creative storage upgrades in each of these, but just for demonstration purposes, let me do this. So watch. If I were to do this, it's locked, so all of the gold will go here. And it's also got that swirl on it, right? So locked, swirl, which means it's voided. Now, remember how I said the controller connects to all of these? Well, watch this. If I insert the gold into the controller, it gets inserted into that compacting jar, right? Now watch this. Because of this, I can do something really sneaky. I can take a compressed refined EMC link, which has a ton of slots for crafting things, and I can say, hey, make gold for my EMC, for my system. Just start making gold and pushing it into the drawer controller. Now watch. It's adding gold. Right. We have 25k nuggets, 3,000 ingots, 300 and some odd blocks, right, are available. And if it goes all the way up to the max, it'll just start voiding and it'll stop. Now, you may be wondering, wow, this is an amazing feature. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I don't want that to continue. Go ahead and put that back in as well. Put that back in. You know what? Put the key back in too, because why not? You may be asking yourself, wow, that's super convenient. But I guess you're going to need, just like the storage crates, right? You're going to need a link for each one of these compacting drawers. So this is going to be like a whole dense cable just for itself, right? No. Because all you need to do is connect this drawer controller to the EMC not the EMC network, to the ME network. All you need to do is to connect the drawer controller, and every compacting drawer it's connected to is also now part of your matter energy network, which means this whole giant wall that's one day very soon going to hold all the different default materials and also all of the different alloys and everything else that I can start auto crafting and inserting into it, it's going to cost one channel on my network. So it's a very smart way to put ingots, nuggets, and blocks of different materials into your network. So that is something that I have done. Anyway, we have talked for a while. We have experienced a blooper, and it's been like almost 2 hours. Jeez, we need to go. We need to not be here anymore. Holy cow, we have spent way too much time here. Let's get out of here. So before we can, I need to explain what I've done. In this chemical bag yellow, you can see a bunch of weird looking items. These things that are glowing are the master spells that have been added. There's also 3 new call stones, the Cleansing Call Stone, the Harbinger Call Stone, and the Call of the Haunted. We'll use those as well if we have time. So, a master spell is, again, something that is custom, that sainagh has added. They are unique to Meatballcraft. You will not find them anywhere else. You won't see them elsewhere. They're unique to this pack. He has said that his goal is to have one for each of the different Ascension types in Thaumcraft, but right now these are almost all of the ones that he has. There is one missing, and I'll explain why in a moment. These were not as difficult to make, honestly, as the Adamite was. To be brutally honest with you, they were pretty straightforward to make. And the way they work is they're essentially like a call stone, but there's 2 things that are unique about them. One, unlike call stones, all of the master spells are reusable, which means when you use them, they aren't consumed, whereas the call stones are. The call stone disappears, right? The master spells are eternally reusable once you make them. And 2, I have been told that none of them summon structures. So they don't summon blocks in the world, right, in the way that call stones do. They do other things, all right? So, oh, and I think, is it conjured items? Wasn't there a ring in here? I'm sorry, real quick before we move on. Didn't I have a ring from Wizardry that made my conjuration, my summons better? Summon zombies and skeletons have leather caps. Creatures damaged by necromancy spells become soulbound to you. Ring of the Battle Mage, no thanks. Enderbound Amulet, no. Ring of Venomous Touch, Apprentice Ring from Thaumcraft, Ring of Condensing. I guess I can wear that to regenerate the mana of things on my hotbar. Summon zombies are husks, summon skeletons are strays. We can probably use that, I guess. I don't know if the Conjurer's Ring, it says conjured items, not conjured creatures. I don't know if that applies to creatures or not, but we do have a lot of ring slots, so I guess we can try and equip it. Let's just go ahead and put that wand away, too. This will allow us to slowly regenerate the mana of our wands. Slowly. See, 1856. Come on, tick up again. I just saw you tick up. Man, when you said it was slow, you weren't kidding. 1857. See, so it is pretty slow, but it does do it. Anyway, these spells are dangerous. In fact, if you look at them, master spell. This should pull up all of them. So the master spells, to craft them, you need a master spell focus. Every single master spell, the way it works is it requires 64 stacks of that given essence. Something, right, which changes for each one, and then it requires a master spell focus and Mythmanite fabric. Okay, so the master spell Praemunio requires 64. That's what this means, is it's 64 stacks of 64, right? Of Praemunio. A Greater Gaia Spirit, a Master Spell Focus, and Mythmanite. The Master Spell Luna requires 64 stacks of 64 Luna, right? An Imperfect Ritual Stone, Master Spell Focus, Mythmanite. They're all like that, okay? The Master Spell Focus is made from magic beans from the Twilight Forest, magenta matter, a Voidseer's Caster Gauntlet, which is the real problem, is those are kind of hard to make, 32 gold coins and 5 pteropods. Let this be a warning. You want to be really careful with these. This is your one and only warning. Use 4,096 crystals, aka 64 stacks of 64 crystals. The fact that sainagh is warning about this, these spells are dangerous. Just because they don't summon structures doesn't mean they're not risky. Each one of these spells does something specific, and I don't know what they do. And I've taken steps to not spoil myself, too. I've done my best to not spoil myself as to what exactly they're capable of. I know that some of them summon really powerful bosses. Some of them are completely benign, and they don't do anything particularly dangerous. And some of them are really dangerous. I'm fully expecting one of them to just explode. I'm sure one of them is going to go off like a nuclear bomb or something. Well, at least a few of them probably will terraform the area around me into different biomes or something. Who knows, right? But I'm not testing them anywhere near here. I'm testing them in the Meatballcraft dimensions because I don't care if those dimensions get messed up. They're already messed up. They came pre-messed up, so it's fine. There's one spell here, though, that I don't have. And it's Master Spell Vitium. And the reason I don't have it is because to craft it, we need a tattered scroll. Okay. The writing is difficult to read, but powerful knowledge lurks within these pages. Warping 5 can be found in the emptiness or through a master spell. Which one? And these are added by Thaumic Augmentation. Thaumic Augmentation adds a dimension to the Thaumcraft library of things to do. And it's called the Emptiness. And it is essentially a dimension that has been overcome completely by taint, which is, if you recall, the magical pollution. It's like soured magic. It's not good. It's not useful anymore. It's gone bad, right? Magical pollution. The whole dimension is overtaken by it. Now, according to the Tattered Scroll text, it says there's a master spell that gives you tattered scrolls. One of the master spells, Vitium, which is, in fact, the taint essence in Thaumcraft. Vitium is taint. This requires a tattered scroll to make. I don't know this, but I'm willing to make a bet with you right here and now that Vitium is the spell that gives you tattered scrolls. which means we need to get a tattered scroll the normal way first and then use it to craft Vitium, which will then let us get more. Okay, and that's actually what you saw for a brief moment earlier. I have the Arcane Auto Infuser already set up to craft that. There's 64 stacks of 64 Vitium Vis crystals in here, as well as one Master Spell Focus, Mythmanite Fabric, and an Ancient Remnants. So all we have to do is get a Tattered Scrolls and put it in here, and then it'll craft that last Master Spell for us. The first thing we are going to do in this episode, besides upgrade our armor, is we are going to use a Void Seer's Caster Gauntlet, and we're going to go to the Emptiness, and we're going to get a Tattered Scroll. I've never done this before, so I don't know how long it's going to take. This could be over in 15 minutes, or it could be the entire rest of the episode. I genuinely don't know. So we're going to take as long as we need. That's also why I got a bunch of new spells for my magic wand. I'm ready to fight. We're ready to ball. So, with that in mind, okay, let's make some really good armor. Although first, before I forget, I'm going to go back and grab some crystals from that mob farm because I'm afraid I might run out. But the Bloodmaster armor that we made, really good. Okay, but we can do better. We can, in fact, do better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 should be fine. That should be plenty. There. I'm just taking this with me along with an arcane workbench so I can recharge my wand in the field if I need to. So, it's pretty good, but the Mythmanite armor is better. The Mythmanite armor is actually a lot better, believe it or not. It balls pretty hard. So, how do we make it? Well, I've got everything we need in one of these backpacks. Let me go ahead and empty this out. I'm sorry. Let me just... This is making a mess for myself later, but it's fine. Empty that satchel out. So that's empty. You were also empty? Yes, you are. So this is the satchel that has crap in it. Okay, gotcha. Then we'll go ahead and hit them with, I guess, one of these. We'll put the Thaumonomicon there. Time in a bottle is still up there. We have... Okay. I have everything we need to upgrade the Adamite to Mythmanite. So why exactly are we doing this? Well, for a lot of reasons, actually. I think... Hang on, yeah. Okay, where is the armor? Because there's a thing that talks about the armor for this. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Adamite fabric. You can't make Mythmanite armor, by the way. There is no Mythmanite armor, unfortunately. While inefficient, I've managed to securely wrap and sew enchanted fabric around the metal. Surprisingly, the fabric absorbs the metal's properties as well, effectively giving me 3 ultra-thin layers of the metal that I can make into a strong set of armor. Okay. Each one of these requires this amount, the given amount of Adamite plus a Mithrilium resonator, and an array of Ascension. It's normal Thumbcraft stuff. However, this is the cool stuff, Mythmanite. Okay, by flattening a Mythmanite ingot to be ultra thin and wrapping it in Adamite or Adamanite, I've created what I can only call a super material. However, the strong magic it emanates means I'll need to craft it in less traditional ways. Okay, and here we go. This is each of the parts. This is dark purple with like cyan trim. So I think this, personally, I think it looks better than the Adamite robes. The Mythmanite hood. After many dangerous experiments and several torn-up theories, I've managed to not only infuse the fabric into an Adamite helmet, but I've also attached several useful tools. This new helmet should give me night vision when it's too dark, has a filter for water breathing built in, a sanity checker, fragrant pendant, and seal globe. And with the help of the braid in the jar, it also auto-repairs my held tool when I pick up experience. So, just the helmet alone has innate night vision, innate water breathing. It gives me the sanity checker on the side of the screen. Fragrant pendant, which helps resist warp gains in the field. I don't remember what the seal globe does, but it does something. And also, it gives any tool that I'm holding mending if it can. Okay, and this costs this. It's a pretty expensive recipe to make. It's this amount of Mythmanite fabric, an Adamite hood, brain in a jar, Mithrilium resonator, sea lantern, fragrant pendant, seal globe, arcane lamp, sanity checker, and this amount of Ascension. Okay. The robe. Okay. By infusing the armor with an enchanted golden apple, aggression module, and a lot of this, it practically radiates safety and health. It will double my vitality, which means my health bar is going to double in size. Okay. It automatically gives me full fire resistance. That's important because, as I'll explain in a moment, the super enchants that sainagh adds kind of break the Minecraft enchanting rules. Normally, you're supposed to choose one type of resistance and enchant it with that. And you have to make a choice between like projectile, blast, or fire. The Mythmanite robe, we don't have to enchant it with fire resist because it automatically has full fire resist. So it's just a question of do we want projectile or blast resistance on this armor. And my specially made flight device not only increases movement speed, but actually gives me godlike flight, which means this Mythmanite robe utility creeps the angel ring, because with the robe on, we can creatively fly with the robe. Right. And also, in case you haven't noticed, the values on this armor are crazy. The Mythmanite hood gives plus 100% more luck, 8 toughness, 8 armor, and a 15% vis discount when using Thaumcraft things. The robe is 8 armor, or 8 toughness, 15 armor. Right. The belt gives me a speed boost, so even having it without the complete set is worthwhile, right? It gives 100% speed, so it doubles my speed, 8 toughness, 10 armor, plus 100% flight speed, so I fly even faster with the belt on. And then the boots, a perfect improvement, improved armor, a perfect improvement. Wow, whoever wrote this was a little bit weird. A perfect improvement, improved armor aside, the Mythmanite reacted extraordinarily well with the boots of the Traveler. These give me a nice speed boost, let me effortlessly step up whole blocks, and give me a jump boost, all without needing to be recharged. Okay. And those give 8 armor toughness, 6 armor, plus those things. I should mention, in modded Minecraft, there is a concept called Step Assist. You've seen me use it this whole time, but if you're not familiar with modded Minecraft, you may not know. In vanilla Minecraft, if I walked up to this and walked into it, I would be stopped. But instead, I automatically step up. I hike up on top of it like this. Right? This isn't possible in vanilla Minecraft. This is a comfort of life. This is a quality of life feature that a lot of modded Minecraft packs we use just to make it easier to traverse so you don't have to be jumping all the time to get up blocks. It lets you mount up 1 block high. This is already installed by default by another mod, but if I didn't have it, the Mythmanite boots do in fact give me step assist. They would let me step up a whole block. So even if whatever mod is letting me do this was disabled or not in this pack, the Mythmanite boots would let me do it, okay, is what that is. So we're making the full Mythmanite set. I'm pretty sure I have counted everything correctly and we have everything we need. If not, you're about to see a spectacular fireworks display as this blows up in my face, but I'm pretty sure I've counted everything correctly. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to unenchant the Bloodmaster pieces. Remember how I said you can't stack the different protections under normal circumstances, right? The super enchants break the rules a little bit. They sort of force the enchantments onto the armor the way sainagh wanted them to be. But this I'm not going to be able to get all of these enchantments onto the armor, is what I'm saying, the armor I'm about to make. But that armor is just better than the Bloodmaster. This is an upgrade. So we're going to use the enchantment remover to remove the enchantment extractor, to remove the enchantments from these armors. And then we're going to use the enchantment applicator once we've made the new armor to reapply what we can with a few extras onto the armor that we've made, the Mythmanite. So let's go ahead and make it. Also, as you can see, I've sort of refined this room a little bit. I'm still not quite sure what to do with the Deep Dark portal, so it's just sitting there. But I've made the home on Terra/Earth in the default world a little bit nicer. Also, these clocks from Meatballcraft actually tick. And they do keep time accurately compared to the day-night cycle outside, which I think is pretty cool. Anyway, let's head on outside. And let's go to our infusion altar. Let's make our new armor, and then we will go to the emptiness, and we will see how long it takes me to get the tattered scroll to make the last spell. Hopefully not too long, but I am prepared, if necessary, to essentially make this the entire episode, essentially. Okay, so we're going to do this carefully. I did double and triple check this to make sure I did it correctly, but we're going to do it again just to be sure. Aqua, Kales, Cognito, Lux, Praemutio, Vicium, Vitium. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these down. This is just... We're just going to do one of these. This should be enough to make everything, I hope. If it's not, we're about to see a big explosion. I hope I've counted everything correctly. I did double and triple check this, but if something goes wrong, I'm going to cry, because a lot of this is really expensive. Let's start with the Adamite hood for now. Okay. So we're going to put that in the middle. And then what do we need to make this? Okay. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to need 5 Mythmanite fabric. Okay. And I did count the pedestals. We do have enough to make all of these crafts. Barely. We have exactly enough pedestals in our setup to make them. Okay, so we have the 5 fabric. We need the sanity checker, the arcane lamp, the seal globe, and the fragrant pendant. Okay, so the sanity checker, the arcane lamp, the seal globe, the fragrant pendant. And by the way, this was the brain in the jar that we have been using the whole time. I needed to empty him out. He had a little bit of XP in him. He's the dude who's been hissing at us the whole time in the lab. I have repurposed him for this. So we do the sanity checker, then we do the fragrant pendant, then we do the seal globe, then we do the brain in the jar. Okay. Sea lantern and a mithrilium resonator. Okay, what are the last 2 things? So sea lantern and then one of the mithrilium resonators that we have. Okay. And then sea lantern, mithrilium resonator. Wait, no, I didn't put the lamp down. I was about to say that's wrong. That was wrong. Okay, so just to count, we need, and I'm double checking because this can explode violently if we do this wrong. This is a dangerous instability craft. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we need the sanity checker, the fragrant pendant. Okay. Sanity checker, fragrant pendant. Then we need the arcane lamp, the seal globe. Okay. The seal globe, the arcane lamp. The sea lantern, the mithrilium resonator, and the brain in the jar. The sea lantern, mithrilium resonator, brain in the jar. Okay. We should be good to go. Now then, actually I don't want to use the Voidcaster's Gauntlet for this because I don't know if that can affect the... I don't know what using the Voidcaster's Gauntlet actually does to these sorts of things. Where on earth did my purple bag full of stuff go? Did I deposit it somewhere? Did I chuck it somewhere? I probably did. Well, I'm gonna show you something really funny. I don't think I've showed this off, but perp. If you take dye, so the contents of alchemical bags is maintained, by which I mean if I were to do this, if I were to change this alchemical bag from yellow to purple, I suddenly gain access to all of the stuff from the purple bag inventory. And there's my caster's gauntlet. And then if I were to change it back to yellow, if I were to do one of these, it will turn back into what it was. These inventories are isolated from the bags themselves. The bags are just a way to access them, which I think is very cool. Anyway, okay. So, and the most important thing, let's make sure we have the elements for this. I'm very sure we do, but I have to double check. So we need Aqua, Kales, Cognito, Lux. Okay. We need Aqua, 1280. Kales. 1280. 250, 200. Lux. That, okay. Then we need Praemunio, Visum, and Vitium. Praemunio, Visum, and then we have plenty of Vitium. Okay. This is a dangerous one. It says so. So this is extremely unstable. Hopefully this brute force method with a ton of stabilizers will be enough. It better be. If it's not, I need to be on deck with a dank so I can place dirt blocks to try and stop any vis spreads if something goes horribly wrong. Here we go. The first piece of armor is being crafted. We are gaining 1.06. We are losing 0 to 2 per cycle, so it's for now it's a stable system, but it's going to destabilize quickly. There are, by the way, things you can do to your setup to speed this up, but it makes it more unstable. And I don't want to do that when it's already a dangerous instability craft like this. There are things you can do to further boost the stability to counteract it, but this is just a random location out in the woods that I picked for this. Eventually, once I've got my base fully online, I will rip all this up and move it into the Void Dimension, and I might then craft a more final version of the Infusion Altar that has some of the more really advanced tricks, right? But for now, we're going to stand on this. So it's going to take a minute. It does have to manually drain all of the Ascension, which takes a while. So how have y'all been? How's the weather where you are? Hellish? I know the feeling. Anyway, while this is going, I suppose I can discuss this. To get into where we're going, to get into the emptiness, we need a Void Seer's Caster Gauntlet, okay? And I suppose we can talk about that. I think this is added by Thaumic Augmentation, right? It's not Thaumic Additions, it's Thaumic Augmentation that adds the dimension. So, the way you do this is we study rifts, right? We get this research done. And I think it's here in Rift Power. Yes. Okay. I finally finished creating all I need to begin delving into the uses of Impetus. Not only can the device I created extract power from a rift, it is also capable of releasing it somewhat rapidly. To get started, I should attach an Impetus conductor to a gauntlet. Then I only need to stand close to a flux rift and it will slowly drain energy from the rift into the augment. As with the Void Siphon, drawing energy from the rift will cause it to become more unstable, in addition to rapidly shrinking, eventually into nothing. If I don't want to constantly make new flux rifts, I should ensure the rift stays stable and has a healthy size. While I don't have any other devices that make the use of Impetus at the moment, I've noticed a peculiar effect on the casting gauntlet itself, which is that it's more efficient at casting spells. We don't use our casting gauntlet to use Thaumcraft magic. Maybe I should, though, now that we're making the good ones. But the point is, we craft this, okay? And it's discovering the emptiness, right? All right. I have drawn plans for a device that should be able to point me towards dimensional fractures, which is this thing. The dimensional fractures are the rips that are on the roof of the Nether, and the fracture locator can help you find them, but they're on the roof of the Nether. There's a lot of them there. Essentially, what you have to do to enter the emptiness is you have to fully charge a Void Seer's Caster Gauntlet with hang on, where is it? I'm pretty sure it's the Impetus Conductor. And what you do is you make one of those and then you combine it with the Void Seer's Gauntlet by crafting them together. See, look, I can pull the Impetus Conductor off of it, right, if I wanted to. It becomes a thing I can take off. But if you look at my gauntlet, it says Impetus Conductor. It's augmented. It can hold one of 3 augmentations. Right now it has 1, Impetus Conductor, Impetus level maximum. This is because I've charged it by standing next to a void rift. Now, what's going to happen is when we go to the roof of the Nether, I can take this with a full charge, and I can click it onto one of those rifts, and then that will open it up. That'll rip open a hole in space-time, and we can go to the void dimension, or the emptiness dimension that the Stormcraft add-on adds. So that's how we get there, and that is where the Tattered Scrolls are. Can be found in the emptiness or through a master spell, which one? Right. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're going. Okay. You are taking a while. This is going to take a long time to make the full set. That sucks. I'm not going to speed it up. I don't even think I have the materials needed to do it. I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, how would I do that? I think that's under... That would definitely be under Infusion, right? Yeah, it would be. Infusion Ancient Stone, Infusion Elder Stone. Or wait, no, Infusion Boosting. This is what it would be. The Infusion Speed Stone, what you do is you place them underneath the pillars on each of these 4. The Infusion Speed Stone increases the speed at which the altar operates, but at a slight increase to costs. The Cost Stone decreased costs, but at a slight reduction in speed. They do both have an EMC value, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't believe I've made any of them. Oh, I've made both of them. I guess we could do this now. I'm not going to, because I'm not certain. Like, I think what that means is it makes it more unstable, but I've calculated out the Ascension pretty evenly. I don't want to have this break by running too hot, and I don't have enough Ascension for it. So we're just gonna let this cook. Okay, there's one piece done. The Mythmanite hood. There you go. Let's see what it looks like if I wear it. That looks pretty good. Oh, the Cyclops is mad at me because I'm not invisible anymore. That looks pretty good. Nice. I'm not quite sure why it is sometimes Minecraft loads me up as Alex and not Steve. I don't get that. I know there's a reason why that happens, but I don't know it. Buddy, listen. I know you think you're really cool. I assure you, you're not. There we go. That doesn't do as much damage as I would have hoped. Phoenix kinda sucks. Man, Phoenix, you struggle to fight one Cyclops. You're not as good as I thought you were, Phoenix. You might get axed off the rotation. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You might not make it. Oh, but all the skeletons do become strays, though. Nice. Anyway. They are killing each other. Wow. Anyway. Graves dust? Oh, right. Just trash all of this. I don't want it. Anyway. So, the next piece. Another one. Right? How do we make the chest piece? Okay. The robe is made from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fabric. Okay. 8 fabric. A resonator, a flight device, a golden apple, and an aggression module. Okay. So a resonator, a flight device, a golden apple, and an aggression module. And of course, we need the Adamite robe as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Resonator, flight device, golden apple, aggression module. Then the Adamite robe goes right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now then, this needs what? More Chaos, more Ignis, more Praemuntio, Ventus, Victus, and Vitium. So Chaos, Ignis, Praemuntio, Ventus. I think it's pretty safe to say we have all of this. Yes, we should. Okay. Let's start this process. Let's see, is there anything else we can talk about while we're here? Each of the different metals does give a better fortified jar. Like as you can see, all of these have red tops. They are adamite topped jars, which admittedly is rather expensive when I only have 4 stacks of adamite to play with. But for the sake of making the armor, I was willing to use a plate of adamite on each one of the core elements necessary to make these jars, just to make absolutely certain that I had enough to make the armor cleanly. I wouldn't have to struggle or juggle jars. Oh, right, there is something we can talk about while we're waiting for this. I forgot. In addition to making really nice armor, we're also going to be making some nice weapons. Now, allow me to explain what this is going to do. So, in terms of weapons, okay, there are 3 weapons that really stand out. Okay, one of which is the stellar alloy sword, the End, which makes a sword called the Ender Mark IV. This is a really good one. Okay, then there's the Shadow Sword, which is what the Meatball Man dropped. That was his sword. I'm sorry, I heard the process stutter. Are we okay? Yeah, we're okay. That scared me for a little bit. And then there is another sword called the Glitch Sword, which is added by Deep Mob Learning. So, these swords are the ones that at this point in the pack are pretty much the strongest. They're kind of competing with each other. All of the Ender IO tools are powered tools, which means they accept energy. They accept RF, and it makes them stronger. They are buffed. And also all of the Ender IO tools can be upgraded with Ender IO upgrades. The Ender Mark IV. Durability 5,000 to 5,000. After 47 attempts, Randolph finally made the ultimate weapon. Possible upgrades, Micro Anvil, and Empowered, which we don't really care about Micro Anvil that much because there's not many upgrades that can be added to it. We would really just put Empowered on this thing, which I believe makes it so that as long as it has power, as long as it's charged with RF, it hits harder. This says the Ender Mark IV has a default attack of 15, which is very high, especially by vanilla Minecraft standards. That sword hits like a truck. It's not that difficult to make. We need 2 stellar alloy ingots and a sentient ender, like, upgrade module. Okay. The Shadow Sword we can't currently make, or at least I don't think we can. We might be able to. It takes obsidian, a stick, Urka hides, and darkly powder. Darkly powder. Oh, we could totally make the Shadow Sword. Interesting. If we just stamp graphite ingots on a plate mold, we get dark powder. Okay. This thing has a default attack of 18, which, again, very high. It ekes out the Ender Mark IV, but if the Ender Mark IV was powered and it was having energy, I think it would either hit at the same level as the Shadow Sword or better. It might actually do a bit more damage. However, there is one more sword in the running, and that's the Glitch Sword, and that is the one I'm going to go with. It's what's in my bag. So the reason the Glitch Sword matters is, by default, it has an attack damage of 10, which is not great compared to either of these. However, look at what it says. Bonus Quick Learner, okay? The data gained from the demise of a mob is doubled. So when we're using Deep Mob Learning to upgrade those modules, right, to teach them data from killing enemies, essentially this means that the data we gain is doubled. So if I kill 1 zombie, it's worth 2 kills instead of 1, okay? So 1, there's that. But the real kicker is that text below it. When data is gained, there is also a small chance that the sword will get a permanent damage increase. Current damage increase 0, max 18. That means that if you were to get 18 of those bumps to proc, this glitch-infused sword would change from a 1.6 attack speed 10 damage to a 1.6 attack speed 28 damage weapon, which dramatically outstrips both the Shadow Sword and the Ender Mark IV, doing almost double their damage. As it turns out, I do in fact have a glitch-infused sword that is 18 of 18. Okay, I did it. We went to that trouble. Okay. So the glitch sword is going to be my new sword. We're going to make that as well before we start using the master spells, because I don't want to risk. If we're doing a full suite of upgrades, you might as well go all the way, right? So we're going to be making a new sword as well for this. But before I talk more about that, let's go ahead and start the other cook. So we made the chest. We're over the hump. These next few are pretty easy to make. It's 4 Mythmanite, a resonator, a flight device, and the belt. Okay, so we need 4 Mythmanite, a resonator, a flight device, and the belt. That's pretty basic. We can handle that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The belt goes in the middle. Flight device and the Mithrilium resonator. Let me count that again just to make sure. We needed 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Mythmanite. Fabric. Okay. Flight device, Mithrilium resonator. Go away. Actually, this is a good chance to do the ice lance, because you hit hard, don't you? Ooh, the knockback on that. That dude went flying. Get out of here. Anyway. Okay, and what do you need in terms of Essentia? Kales, Fluctus, Premuntio, Ventus, Vitium. The real important thing here is to make sure I'm not running low on Premuntio, because I think every single one of these requires armor. 880, and this needs what? 200? Okay, we should be good to go then. This should work. Okay. We're also not running low on Vitium. We have enough. Alright, anyway, moving on. The glitch-infused sword is the strongest sword we can currently make, especially once it's fully upgraded with the 18 of max 18. Okay? Why does this matter? So it matters because of the way battle signs work. I think I explained this at some point. I believe I did. But to reiterate, battle signs. The modded Minecraft community has mixed feelings about them. Some people think they suck and they never use them. Some people think they're great and they swear by them. I fall into the second category, as clearly evidenced by the fact that I've been using them this whole time to clown on things. The way a battle sign works is it is a shield, essentially, that I hold. Where are we? I'm sorry, wait a minute, what was that? Why did I take damage? Are we... Oh, it's dangerously unstable. Wait a minute. It's inflicting damage to me as a side effect, but I think we're still okay. Yeah, I've gained temporary warp, but that's fine. I don't care about that. Wait a minute. Okay, that's the infusion stabilizers kicking in. A warp event attempted to happen, but it didn't. Hang on just a second. I need to stop talking. We may need to put out fires with the dank. We may need to put dirt blocks on top of... Because this just started. There's still a lot to go. But each one of these has, I think, 2 or 3 charges on it that can absorb an event. We should be okay. Doing these back-to-back may have been a mistake. After we make the belt, I might wait a minute before I make the boots, because I think this needs a moment to cool off. I think that's the problem here. There's nothing we can really do to stop this. I can't stop this now if I wanted to. We need to just let it cook. So I'm going to put the Thaumonomicon here and leave the dank on my bar in case I need it. Anyway, the long and short of it is the way battle signs work is when an enemy hits it, it is, let me see, I think it's spiky is what you want, which is the second attribute associated with Cactus. What it does is when it's on a battle sign, It essentially simulates you hitting the enemy with whatever weapon you're holding in your other hand. So it's like an automatic, instantaneous riposte that happens, right? The enemy hits you, and you just get a free hit in that you don't actually throw. That's what Spiky does, okay? Which is the reason why this has a cactus handle. This means that the strength of the battle sign is directly contingent. Its ability to counterattack is directly contingent on how good of a weapon you're holding in your other hand. You don't ever actually have to swing that weapon unless you want to. But the battle sign will inflict damage onto whatever it is that hits you, as though you hit them with that weapon, is what will happen, okay? So that means things like looting get applied, right? Any debuffs get applied. It's why I can block with my fiery battle sign, right? And I can gain demonic will by holding a sentient sword in my other hand. Because technically, the sentient tools and weapons inflict snare on enemies as a debuff. And then that way when they die, they put demonic will into a crystal, right? That's in your inventory, right? Is they're inflicted by snare. Because the battle sign simulates a hit as a counterattack, you can get demonic will, right, from a battle sign counter hit, right? You can get blood shards, right? You can get anything, any unique sort of thing like that from a battle sign counterattack. So to really maximize this, we need as good of a weapon as we can get. I'm making the glitch-infused sword, and we have some super enchanted weapons. I'm going to wait a minute to let that cool off. We're letting that breathe for a minute. I've made some super enchants here, and we're going to peel, in addition to making the armor, we're going to peel some things off of these weapons and put them all onto the glitch-infused sword to really make this a baller sword, okay? Currently, the strongest super enchant I was able to make in terms of raw attack damage was the Arcanum Blade, because it has sharpness LVII. If I recall my Roman numerals correctly, L is 50, and of course V is 5, and I is 1. So this is, I think, sharpness 57, unless I'm grossly mistaken. That's the highest level sharpness we're currently capable of obtaining. So that's going to get peeled off of the Arcanum Blade and applied to the glitch-infused sword. Additionally, some of the other things are going to get pulled off of some of these weapons. Like fire aspects and sweeping edge, right, and headhunter and some of these other things are going to get peeled off and applied to the glitch-infused sword. There's also one more enchantment that's going to get applied to it, and while the shoes are cooking, I'm going to explain how I got it and what we're doing next. But that golden sword has looting 15 on it. That is XV. That's 15. How on earth, Rain, did you get a golden sword with looting 15? Looting only goes up to what, like 3? 4? I'm pretty sure it's 3. It's been so long since I played vanilla Minecraft. I have no concept of what's real and what's not anymore, as most modded Minecraft players get. I don't remember what's real and what's not anymore. But I know looting doesn't go up to 15. I know it doesn't get into the double digits, so that's nutty. How did I do that? I'll show you when we're done. Okay. I think we're cool. Let me use the warp cleanser on myself. Are we good? I think the hat lets you check sanity, right? Can we check and see? Not really. I was hoping it would let me check the warp in the zone, but I guess it's not going to, is it? Okay. We'll wait like 10 more seconds or so before we start that last cook, because that made me a little bit nervous. We need to let this rest for a minute to let the instability build back up again. Anyway, and of course we need the boots. Did you need a fancy amulet? What do the boots need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last Mithrilium Resonator and the Boots of the Traveler. Okay. So that's it, essentially. That's all you need. Okay. We'll set this up, but we won't start it just yet. We'll wait for it to cool off a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boots of the Traveler. Mithrilium Resonator. And then Adamite Boots. Okay. And just to be clear, again, while we're waiting for this to cool, you need what? 250 air, 200 Fluctus, 200 Premunio, and 150 Vitium. We have the Vitium for sure. We have the air. We have the Praemunio. Do we have 75 Kales and 200 Fluctus? We have over 1,000 Fluctus, and we still have over 1,000 Kales. So we have everything we need. Okay. I did overbuild for this just because I was worried about it, but it's nice to know that I've still got everything counted. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this last one. I think we've let it rest for long enough. I think it'll be fine. I will explain how I got this golden sword this way, and I will also demonstrate how we can do some of this ourselves. So, remember how we beat up Nyarlathotep, or I don't think it was Nyarlathotep. Who was it we beat up at the end of the Meatballcraft? I don't feel like it was Uncle Nyar, because Uncle Nyar is actually kind of a cool guy. It was probably somebody else, because Nyarlathotep was quote-unquote canonically maybe in the Lovecraft mythos. I think he was technically Nikola Tesla in disguise. Uncle Nyar was a pretty cool guy for an Eldritch Abomination. I don't remember who it was we killed, but it probably wasn't him. If it was him, I'm going to pretend it wasn't. Okay, we beat up somebody else who was a much bigger whiner. He was a much whinier Eldritch God than Nyarlathotep. But anyway, remember when we beat him up and we got like the upgraded version of the Necronomicon? Like, what was the point of that, right? Like, why do that? What is the purpose of it? Well, the reward you get for going all the way to the end of Meatballcraft and getting the final Necronomicon, right? The reward you get for it. Oh, we are generating flux now. Lord have mercy. It's a good thing this is the last cook. I don't think the stability is going to hold for much longer. We need to just walk away from this zone for a while and let it sit and let it just cool off for a while. Let me go ahead and chunk load this zone. So this can cool off in the background after we leave, because that's a little bit spooky. There we go. Or no, just those. Yeah, that's the correct radius. Okay, we'll let that cook. But the reward you get is a ritual. And what the ritual does is it can forcibly combine enchantments from books onto a single object in the center of the ritual, on a piece of equipment or a weapon or something. And it can do that up to... I'm sorry, what is glitched? Overflow. This may be one of his custom materials. Or wait, no, this is from Deep Blood Evolution. This is an actual thing. This isn't custom. This isn't concept tweaker material. This is something that's actually real. Oh, they're made from infinity ingots. Never mind. Forget about it. Forget you even saw that. We're not going anywhere near that for a long time. Anyway, what it can do is it can forcibly combine enchantments to levels that they wouldn't normally be able to do. The default can be changed in the configs. I believe by default it's up to 14 is the cap that Meatballcraft adds. But you can go above that if you want, if you change the configs. I believe sainagh has his pinned at 15. Okay, so for this pack, the configs by default will cap it at 15. So this allowed me to make a looting 15 sword. Okay, this is dramatically more powerful than the level of looting or fortune that we would be able to get on a Tinker's tool. Okay, with the Meatballcraft forcible enchantment fusion ritual, we have now transcended the ability for certain Tinker's tools to keep up with us. Right, we have gone beyond their limits. Right, we are now firmly in a broken zone all our own. Okay. Good, that's done, so we can just walk away from this. I'm going to go ahead and break all of these. And I think what we'll do is we'll put all of this away in the purple bag. this. Which we will make one by doing this real quick, because I don't want to... I can't be bothered. The reason I changed the yellow one and not the white one is because the white dye is bone meal, and bone meal can't be made on the alchemy table. So if I change away from white, I won't be able to access it again without going back to my base and getting some bone meal. I can't make bone meal in the transmutation tablet. So white just, it can't be made. So this one needs to stay. The one that changes color is going to have to be the yellow one. We'll put all of that away, and then we will go ahead and turn this back to yellow real fast. Why yellow? Yellow. Okay. So I actually have reserved one of the things we're going to do, so you can see this for yourself. I could have done this off screen, but I left one. Or wait, no, I'm a moron. I changed it back before we. Well, you know what? We'll do this while the other ritual is running. I'll just carry these with me. Sorry, is that a... Okay, for a second I thought that was a troll. That's an Undertaker. Never mind. There we go. Back to the lab. Actually, I'm just gonna drop these off. I don't care enough to do this the correct way. I'm lazy. This is a problem for off-stream me to solve. Just put it there. Anyway, so Meatballcraft, right? Also, as an aside, I didn't know this, but someone pointed this out to me, and now I'm going to point it out to you. Apparently, there is a better way to gather potential energy. If you stack any 3 of these statues on top of each other like this, they don't have to be the same statue, as clearly evidenced by this configuration that has Hastir, Niarthalep, and Hastir. And then you put them on top of a monolith stone. If you click the monolith stone with a Necronomicon, it'll convert it so it has this sort of square ornamentation on it where this one doesn't. This special like multi-block of one monolith stone that's been transformed in 3 statues on top of each other doesn't generate any instability. So this is way easier. Like, let me show you. If we do this, if I take this Azathoth statue and then we put it on top of this Shubby statue, and then I take the energy pedestal and I do this. There you go. It makes that noise, and then it changes. So these won't generate any instability, okay? Which makes it much easier to harness huge amounts of potential energy. I didn't know that. Someone had to point it out to me. So anyway, let's go to rituals. Let's go to Abyssal Nomicon. We've got the Ritual of Cleansing, which we don't care about. The Hastir statue, the Statue of Creation, which we don't care about. The Charm statues, which we don't care about. Sorry, or Ritual of Corruption, Ritual of Curing. Mass Enchantment, here we go. So this costs a lot of PE. This costs 50,000 potential energy, but it can be done anywhere, location anywhere. By presenting 8 enchanted books and an item on the altar, all of the enchantments will be combined and applied to the item. You can use any combination of enchantments and all levels will be combined, so multiple instances of the same enchantment can bypass the normal boundaries. Okay, so there you go. Plain English. You heard it from the ancient gods. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how this works. So you see how I have 3 enchanted books here of Magic Protection 15? This is how I got them. And hey, look at that. I have 8 books of Magic Protection 4. Imagine that. So here's what we're going to do, just to show you how this works. I surround these. Then I have to put something in the middle to accept it, which for this sake we'll do a golden chestplate. And because this is a 100,000 PE Abyssal Nomicon, the Abyssal Nomicon can do this twice before it has to be recharged. Watch this. And there you go. We now have a golden chestplate with magic 15. Ta-da! We go ahead and put the Abyssal Nomicon back so it can recharge. And now we have everything we need to begin our super enchanting limbo home. I promise we're leaving at some point. I swear we're going to the emptiness. I mean it, but I know this has taken a while. But I wanted to show all of this off. And also, before I forget, because I will forget if I don't do it, the one quest line that we had to do was this one. A source. You will be going to space soon. It's time to start preparing. To get a steady supply of oxygen, you either need a full spacesuit or a full set of armor enchanted with airtight seal. Hey, guess what else I have in my bag? It's a full set of airtight seals. To add oxygen to your armor set, pipe oxygen into a gas charge pad and stand on it while wearing it. This is interesting. I was able to generate... Why is my Meatballcraft crashing like that? I'm sorry. It's because the memory was cleaning in the background. That's why. It was hanging and I was worried it was about to crash for a minute. Oh, it might. Okay, wait a minute. Just let it calm down. It's modded Minecraft. Just let it relax. Okay, there we go. This is interesting. I was able to generate matter that holds mythic powers. This recursion thing seems quite versatile. Stuff like this is likely what powers the Shire Empire's massive military power. Well, if they can use it, so can I. The objective here is to create a divine star. And you'll note it says, get the first one from a tier 6 mythic void resource miner. Draconic is a no-no. Random 51 tried. And the optional is to make the space helmets, space boots, and a gas charge pad. I'm not going to do the optional because I'm not going to make a spacesuit. We have the airtight seals instead, and we're going to apply airtight seals to our brand new spiffing armor so that that acts as a spacesuit instead. That's what this enchantment does. It's added by advanced rocketry. That way, instead of having to wear this janky space armor that has crap protection because it's a spacesuit, it's NASA. It's made out of tinfoil, right? We made this out of plastic bags on a budget, right? Instead, I can make swag wizard robes and then enchant them to also work as a spacesuit because I'm a wizard and I don't have to respect your laws or rules. I do what I want. To do this, we needed to get a divine star. There's two ways to make it. One, use 6 divine rocks and another star in a wyvern tier fusion in craft to get the divine star. This is what they said when it says Draconic didn't work. Random 51 tried. The other way to get your first one is to run a tier 6 mythic void resource miner, which requires nethogenic fluid, and it generates these things, including a divine star. Creating nethogenic fluid was an unbelievable pain. It requires nethogenic runes, blue fire stones, and enchanted gunpowder. The nethogenic runes were a pain to craft. On top of that, enchanted gunpowder. The best way to get large amounts of it is from the tier 5 resource miner, which generates it, but that requires overworldian fluid, which, hey, guess what that costs? It costs 1 of each of the demonic will ingots and a calcite gem, which is, of course, something you get from the tier 4 mythic void resource miner, which runs on liquid void, which is made from putting everwatching eyes into an enderstone crucible, which is that thing over there. This was a huge pain to set off screen. This is why it took me like a gap of 3 weeks to a month to get to get to this point. This took a while to set up, okay? And I had to commit to fully automating the demonic will just to get this. All of that stuff I'd rambled about was for the sole purpose of generating these 315 divine stars, okay? And by putting 1 into my inventory, I should now complete that quest. We will go ahead and complete it. And now it's asking me to build the advanced rocketry boxes, the boxes necessary to do it. Searching for answers, because rockets are cool. The Divine Star was cool and all, but I cannot fully understand it. The Shire Empire's wormhole capabilities seem to be driven by gravity, which is, to us humans, still a great mystery. I think it's time to understand more about it. And to do this, I believe it's important to discover how Terra's wacky gravity works by looking at it from a distance. It's rocket time. Thanks to KDog0421 for the meme subtitles. Okay. And I have to make a rocket assembling platform, launch pads, structure towers, advanced rocket engines, a liquid fuel tank, guidance computers, a seat. I'm going to do all this off screen later. This is for later. Okay, don't worry about this. All right. We're not doing that today. That's for later. We're going to space. For now, we're going to a eldritch horror dimension of death and suffering. Anyway, let's go ahead and strip these enchantments off of these things and start enchanting. We will start with the armor, since I think that's probably the most important part. Let's go ahead and begin with that. We're probably going to need more than 32 books. So we'll just go ahead and do one of these. Nice. I even already have a box right here for this. Okay, just strip them all and put those directly in there. Like I said, we're not going to be able to reapply all of these because that's not how Minecraft enchanting works. Although the enchantment applicator can forcibly apply certain things, there are limits to what it's capable of forcing, and it can't break the vanilla Minecraft enchanting rules that way. It breaks them in other ways, but not that way. So we're going to have to make a choice. Certain enchantments that we have are not going to be able to go on to our new armor, but that's okay. It's okay because, like I said, the Mythmonite. I'm sorry, I get them so mixed up because Mithrilium and Mythmonite are so close to each other. Why it's called Mythmonite and not Orichalcum or Orichalcite, I don't know. Because Mithrilium is clearly a riff on Mithril. And Adamite is, in my opinion, clearly a riff on Adamantium. So I don't know why the magical alloy of the two of them being combined would be anything else but Orichalcum. But I don't know. I'm a huge nerd. What I think doesn't matter. Anyway, as I've already shown, that has certain special properties, including total fire resistance. So we don't even need to put the fire resistance on it. We also have, while this is working, I can show you something else. So, I'm going to show you how to duplicate enchantments if you don't have more than one. All right. Let me see. I had it in my bag somewhere. Where are you? This is another thing that I put in a place so I wouldn't forget it, and now I feel I've misplaced it. And I'm a dingus for having done so. But there is the new zombies that spawn because we're in hard mode. Their pants have thorns 30 on them. And you're not in there, you're not in there. And that is something we can duplicate, and I'll show you how. But I have to find where they went because I had the pants around here somewhere. The armor that they drop is a new kind of armor unique to hard mode, and it is very, very difficult. Did I put it in here? Change the scroll of knowledge. No. Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. Okay, so sacrifice. The sacrifice metal is what the zombies and skeletons are wearing now, and sacrifice metal is unbelievably ridiculous to make it, okay? So to make it, we need sacrifice metal ingots. A sacrifice metal ingot is made by processing a sacrifice metal clump in a mythic processor furnace, which is one of these. We have to make one of those. It's another custom multi-block key made. But that's not the problem. The problem is the sacrifice metal clump, which is made from this. So this is an entire crafting table of ultimate crafting filled with pyrotheum dust. And then it's a singularity from extended crafting of each of the demonic alloys that I just showed you that I worked out how to make. We need a corrosive singularity, a demonic singularity, a bloodmaster singularity, a vengeful singularity, a steadfast singularity, and a destructive singularity. And that makes 6 sacrifice clumps. We can't do this right now. Or I guess technically we can't because we can't make the furnace. We couldn't do anything with the clumps if we made them. Never mind. I'm wrong. We can't make the mythic processor yet. So I couldn't make this if I wanted to. But the important thing is we can take the enchantment off of it, the Thorns XXX. And I'm going to show you how you can duplicate enchantments because I want thorns on all of my armor pieces too. We're putting Thorns 30 on every single piece of my robes. So, this is a thing you can do in Meatballcraft, okay? Is you can take print press chases, you can take books, and then you can take an enchanted book. This is how I got all those Magic Protection 4s, by the way, to combine together. Is I made an enchanted plate of Magic Protection 4. It has a durability of 2 out of 3, so it can only be used 3 times before breaking. But it essentially lets you use a printing press to print more copies of that book. Okay? Now, this system is not without certain issues, okay? And one of those issues, Yeah, we have 4 of everything except the night vision, as I expected. One of the issues is Meatballcraft, unfortunately, is smart. Okay, it is a smart mod, which means that it scales the cost in XP for making these things directly off of what it thinks it should cost based on the level of the enchantment. So Thorns 30 would never exist naturally in Minecraft, but Meatballcraft is still able to quote a cost for it at you because it's smart enough to scale the cost up with the level of the enchantment. That sucks. That's not what we want because it means this is going to be brutally expensive, but I think we can afford to do it. I believe we can afford to duplicate the Thorns enchant, and I'm going to show you how, right? I'm going to show you how we do it, okay? So, we take the Thorns enchantment book, okay? And then we need to put it on the typesetting table, all right? And I'm going to have to take my battle sign off because we have to click some things. So we do this. We put it on there, okay? Then we're going to take the press, and we're going to put the press, I think it's in the middle? Yes. And what else do we need? I'm trying to remember what else we needed for this. I don't want to have to look it up on the internet, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think we needed the books. I do know we needed reading glasses to be able to see this, I think. Okay. So, okay, we can't quite afford to duplicate the Thorns 30, so it's going to require 1,039 levels to duplicate Thorns 30. So that's a little bit outside of our reach right now. Even if I used all of the levels that I've stored up, plus converted all the liquid XP we have in storage and barrels, I don't think we're going to be able to cover the cost of that. That is unfortunately too much. We can't do that. Alright, so we'll have to forego Thorns for now, regrettably. But the way this works is you pay the price, right? And it'll consume the book, and it'll consume one of the print chases. And then it'll make this enchanted plate. You can then take the plate and apply it to the printing press along with ink sacs, because there's ink sacs applied to the printer, right? We put the plate on it, right? And then if I can put a book, and watch, it'll duplicate that magic. Okay, see how it's a magic protection 4? It's going to turn that book into, give it a minute, magic protection 4. And the reading glasses let you see what you're doing. They show it. And as you can see, this plate has taken durability damage. It's now 1 of 3. Now, I'm going to let you in on the biggest cheese to do with this. These plates are repairable. You can just throw them into a powered diamond anvil and repair them to full. Which means as long as you do these in batches of 2 at a time and don't ever craft with your plates, but once you have the plate, you have an infinite amount of that magic, that enchantment. You just need to provide books, and you can just print them. So the initial problem is you have to be able to foot the cost of making the plates. We can't afford 1,200 some odd XP right now, unfortunately. So putting Thorns 30 on every single one of our things is not as big of a pipe dream as you think. I had a suspicion this might happen, which is why I have these bedrock leggings. Fat fingered it for a minute there. There's a super enchant we can do to create Thorns of Villainy, which also creates something that has Thorns 30. If I make 4 of these, we'll be able to do it. The reason I haven't made this yet is we have everything we need for this, but the problem is Mana Stone Dust is a bit of a pain to make, and also Molten Combs are a bit of a pain to make, because I think we actually have to breed some bees for this, which I don't want to do. I'll do this off screen to get 4 books of Thorns. I just wanted to check and see if it was possible to do that, but it's not. So, now that we have all of this, let's go ahead and make our super armor. We have 4 airtight seals, which you can find in the end. They're in those structures floating in the sky. You can find airtight seals in them. And we have 4 magic protection 15s. So let's go to the enchantment applicator. And let's do airtight seal. Okay. Let's do magic protection 4. Let's do... don't think we'll do frost protection. I think the base protection can work. I think it can apply that. It won't. Interesting. So it's magic protection specifically. So none of those stack. Okay. Hang on. Does that mean... I just want to double check this to make sure I'm not confused, because this is Electroblop's wizardry stuff. Does that also not stack? No, it doesn't. Okay. So out of all the things that have protection in the name, you get 1. You get exactly 1. Okay. So we're going to forego the protection X and stand on the magic protection, because I think that's going to be the most dangerous thing we run into is high-level magic. Fire protection, blast protection. We definitely need last stand, and we'll take mending, I guess. I don't know how necessary it is. Okay. So, Unbreaking Sea, you won't accept it? Why not? What about last stand? You will accept last stand. Why not in Breaking Sea? I don't know why some of these work and some of these don't. And you're not going to accept mending either. That's weird. That's dramatically fewer enchantments than I thought you would be able to accept. I thought some of these would stack. Why not? It's got last stand on it, which I guess is the most important, vitally important enchantment, but I don't get why it's not accepting that. I'm not quite clear on that, why that's not working. Is it because it's going to take more essence? Do I have to do one of these? Hang on, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure, because... No. We're not going to bother with this. I can troubleshoot this off screen if I have to. Let's just go ahead and make the armor that we can make, and let's move on, because we've been running around base talking. We've been jabbering for like 2 hours. Let's go ahead and get this and put this on. Okay. There we go. And throw the reading glasses back. Okay, let's go ahead and I guess we'll put the Unbreaking books back too. Jeez. Not what I was expecting today, but that's fine. I guess we can put the mending back as well. Oh, fascinating. It actually adds an oxygen meter that I can see. Cute. Okay. And if I put the angel ring away, look how fast I run. And I should still be able, yes, even without the angel ring, we can still fly. That O2 meter is a bit obnoxious in the corner, though. I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish that could be moved or minimized somehow. But this is our new armor. Kind of wish I could have put more of those enchantments on it. I might have to do some research and see. It might be the magic protection. Wow, I can do jumps. Look at how high my jumps are. Jeez. Bouncing. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and make the sword. Let's make the big sword. Let's make the big boy sword. So we're going to need to strip looting off of the golden sword. We're going to strip the sharpness off of that. We're going to strip the hammer and the crab smasher maul. We're going to strip the great blade. And we're going to strip that. And we are going to go ahead and just put as much of these enchantments onto the glitched sword as possible. Okay, so we take the glitch-infused sword. Okay, looting 15, yes. Headhunter, I don't remember what Headhunter does, but it's added by loot. I think it makes heads drop more frequently, yes. Looting, sharpness, no, your jokes. Unbreaking 6, we might try that. Sharpness, yes. Do we have a better unbreaking? I don't remember what sever is either. One of these makes, like, I think that makes two-handed weapons deal more damage. We don't really care about that. Fire aspect 10, though. Yes, we do. Sharpness, that. No, that's not as good. Sweeping edge. That's vanilla Minecraft. Yes, we want that. Headhunter 5 from Woot. Ooh, you're better than the other one. Yes, and then Unbreaking V versus Unbreaking VI. Okay. And then, wait, we have one more weapon to go, which is the Tidal Blade. Sharpness, that's inferior. Sever, I think that is from Advent of Ascension, and that increases the damage that great swords specifically do, great blades. And I believe that does stack with sharpness, so it's possible that the Advent of Ascension great blades can reach damage numbers higher than the more vanilla style swords. I'll have to do some damage tests for that off screen, but I'm going to keep that Sever 10 just to test it. That's amending, and then Sweeping Edge. Okay, Sweeping Edge 10 is inferior to Sweeping Edge 20. So let's see how much of this we can fit onto our glitch-infused sword. So first of all, we absolutely must have that crazy sharpness on it. We are now dealing 57 damage per swing with this thing. Then we put the crazy looting on it. We now have sharpness 57, looting 15. We're going to put Headhunter on it. Okay. We're going to put Unbreaking on it. We're going to put Fire Aspect 10 on it. We're going to put Sweeping Edge 20 on it. There we go. Look at that. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The multi-armed Shiva said, get your crap together. Don't make me come down there. I'll beat you. That's totally how that went. That's how that encounter went. And by the way, just because I know some people may not be aware, the glitch stuff is from Deep Mob Learning, and you make it from glitch-infused ingots. You make glitch-infused ingots by stabilizing unstable glitch fragments, which is drop some fragments, lapis and gold, into a body of water, hope for the best. Okay, and that's how you can make the ingots. So the glitch fragments, if we look up glitch, the way this works is we need corrupted glitch hearts. Okay, they can be crafted directly from rhenium ingots and trial keys once we get to rhenium. But the way you're supposed to get them is we make trial keys, which is an ender pearl, 2 diamonds, and 2 iron nuggets, and it'll make a trial key. And then we can use this trial key to essentially... Here, I think I'll show you, because I think we have some over here, don't we? I saved some just for this purpose, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, so these have different traits. Like Trial Key, it's attuned to zombies, so it's going to summon a wave of zombies for us to fight. Tear is self-aware, which increases the amount of loot we get from it. The affixes are Speed, Thunderdome, and Regen Party. So we don't care about those because we're looking for a specific affix, which is affixes Empowered Glitches, Knockback Immunity, and Regen Party. You want Empowered Glitches as one of the affixes because that means you'll get glitch hearts when you use it. And I will go ahead and demonstrate this. We will take our invisibility cloak off. I'm just going to do this real fast so you can see it. We'll put the Master Wand in our spell slots. We will put the thing in here. And you make a trial keystone from Deep Mob Learning, and then you use one of these keys on it. Sorry, what? Excuse you. I am inserting an attuned trial key. Why are you not? I'm sorry, hang on. This isn't working correctly. You're supposed to click the key on the thing, but I don't know why the thing isn't working. Maybe it's because we're too close to things. Let me go over here real fast and we'll try it over here. Oh, it's up here in the corner. It's that. Wait, hang on. Let me... I think I've got to delete things until we... It's this square, but it's being covered up by the stuff in here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. We don't need any of these anymore. Get rid of the seeds, get rid of those. Okay, there we go. Now I think we can do it. Sorry, that was covering it up. So we do this. Yep, and now it's ready to go. So we do one of these. All right. Trial type, self-aware, zombies. Wave 7, we have these. The rewards will be 18 pristine zombie matter and 3 corrupted glitch hearts. So we can start the trial. Here you go, Ice Giant. Beat him up for me. As you can see, anybody who touches the shield just dies instantly because it's just doing so much damage to repost with this new glitch sword. And this is essentially how, this is one way Deep Mob Learning allows you to earn loot, is you can summon these waves of creatures. You can make the keys, fight what comes out, and this is how you get glitch hearts, is you do this, just an FYI. Also, you do have to stay kind of close to this, which is why I'm not wandering away from it. If you walk too far away from it, the thing is automatically cancelled. Glitch alert! Deal with it before it becomes a problem. Where's the glitch? Oh, I think he died instantly because he bounced off my shield. Did you see him? He was black with cyan eyes. He was like a corrupt-looking mob. He spawned in, punched me, died instantly. Died before the warning could finish that I needed to end him before he started causing problems. Did he give me a glitch heart for killing him? Yes, he gave me 12. You can see him in my inventory. I got 12 glitch hearts for killing him. Why is my Tinker's Construct battle sign regenerated? Is it the armor that's forcibly repairing it? Hang on, I need to look at that more closely because that had taken more damage. That was in the yellow, not the green, but it's in the green now. That's not right. It's gaining health over time. Are you watching that? Look at the battle sign. Wait, can it actually? There's no way the Thaumcraft armor can repair Tinker's tools. That would be ridiculous. If that were the case. Okay, there we go. And I got 21 glitch hearts, and that's just how you do that. That's just how that works. That's what you would need to do that. Just a heads up, so you know how to get glitches, you know how to get glitch hearts. I've shown it to you. Let's go get our scroll. Okay, I think we have spent way too much time hanging out here. Let's go get the scroll. And I think, just for the sake of expediency, because I don't know how much loot we're going to find there, we'll go ahead and hit him with one of these too. I'll just drop everything in this sack off so we have a fully emptied satchel real fast. Okay. There we go. Also, I didn't mention this. I know, one last thing before we leave. These blocks, travel anchors by Ender.io, they're pretty cheap to make. Or, I shouldn't look up that. Travel ank. These. So they're just made from iron, conduit binders, and pulsating crystals. They allow teleportation between other anchors. You can stand on one anchor, look at another anchor, and jump to travel. So this anchor up here will let me teleport to any of those 4 anchors that are embedded in the wall and the floor down below. So hang on, I'm moving too fast now. I'm too quick. But if I look down, you can see 5 travel anchors. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one down there. If I jump while I'm looking at this, boop, I teleport to that. And if I look down here, whoop, check it out. I'm now down here, and we are down below everything in the room that's taking care of my energy. Okay, this is the energy room that's taking care of it. This is a large, vibrant capacitor bank, solid bank of blocks. It's capable of holding 62,500,000,000 RF, which is currently maxed out. And I actually lied to you. There's one more thing I'm going to show you before we go to the emptiness. I know, I'm sorry. But I have one more thing I need to show you. Also, I have added another network to my system, which is previously I was running energy into the capacitor bank via wires, but I had it suggested to me. I can't claim evidence for this. I can't claim credit for it. But essentially, if you set up another network, right, what you can do is things that are generating energy for you, you can have them on the second network, right? And then the plugs, right, you can have them insert into that second network. And then you can have that second network pouring itself into your battery bank, right, with a flux point. And then you can pull everything on another network, which is the yellow gold one, and use that to power things. So this way, my entire network is now wireless because I've done this. I've essentially got an input network and an output network. And since I named my output network to start with Sorcerer's Dripwork, of course I named the input network Postamancer's Riznet because I am a menace to society at large and must be stopped at all costs. Please call the police, call the fire department, call SWAT, call the FBI and the CIA. I am at large, and I need to be stopped. This is a joke related to Kingdom of Loathing, by the way. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But since sainagh made this the theme of this pack, meatballs being the masters of the universe, I felt like making sorcerer and postamancer jokes was pretty on point for the pack, even though I understand I'm dating myself horribly by making those jokes, and none of you will understand them, but don't worry, some of these jokes are just for me. Anyway, let's go to why is it flickering on and off like this? Is the night vision not working correctly? It should be. Anyway, let me go to the end and show you what's generating all of the power for my system, and then we will go rip open that rift in dimensions and see what that new dimension holds for us. And I would like then to, you have enough time left to at least use 1 or 2 of the master spells, but we might end up saving all of those for next time, who knows. But anyway, running all of those mythic miners like I needed to get the Divine Star had its own problems, okay? Because not only did they need the liquid fuels, they also needed energy, a lot of energy, more RF than I was capable of generating at the time. So what I did was I expanded. So this is a space base that I have built in the end. It's made from enlightened diffused quartz, which is a clear glass that gives off light. And also these high-tech doors are from Malasis doors. They make sounds when you open them. They also have an EMC value. You can get them off of your table once you make one. Yeah, here they are. High-tech door. Anyway, I made this structure in the end. Why, you may ask? The answer is the rockets that advanced rocketry creates have to be launched from a dimension that advanced rocketry acknowledges and understands is a valid dimension. The void world that the simple void world mod makes, that we've built the base in, advanced rocketry isn't compatible with it. So we can't actually launch our rocket from our base. I have to build the rocket launch pad in either the overworld, the end, or I guess theoretically you could do it in the nether, but it was really the overworld or the end. I picked the end because it seems suitably space related, and also because in the lore of this pack, the end is way up high, like almost out of the atmosphere, where we're in like the asteroid belt around Terra. And so I decided to make a space station up here, and we will eventually, this is where we're going to build the rocket launching pad to stage our launched rockets up into advanced rocketry space dimensions. You'll also notice something really interesting, which is there's 5 giant purple pads here. What are these? These are solar arrays from environmental tech. These are Erodium tier solar arrays, and they are also tier 5 solar arrays. Now, the tier that the array itself is will increase how powerful they are. Realistically, you want your arrays to be tier 5 or above. Below that tier, they kind of suck. But once they hit tier 5 and above, they start becoming kind of OP. And also, the individual solar cells can also be upgraded through the tiers by rubbing the different crystals on them. If I look up Erodium, you should be able to see, right. The Erodium power cells are made from combining litherite power cells with Fluix blocks, machine frames, photovoltaic cells, and Erodium. Now, the reason I stopped at that is because if I wanted to upgrade them to the Chironite solar cells, each one needed 4 Adamite nuggets, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I did the math, and if I wanted to upgrade all of these solar cells to Chironite, it would require almost 5 full stacks of Adamite ingots by itself, or thereabouts. I'm ballparking it off the top of my head. It may have been around 4, but essentially I would have had to make all of that Adamite again to do that, and I wasn't going to do that. There is another recipe for Adamite we will eventually gain access to where we can make the blocks directly. Adamite blocks will be able to be crafted directly from vibrating stone, mana-infused ingots, mithrilium, dreaded steel, and primordial stars. But we have to get to Vibe first, which is a planet. We have to get to Vibe before we can make Adamite directly on a crafting table. But I made this. These solar cells are generating so much energy that not only are they able to run all of the Mythic Void Miners simultaneously, but they filled up that entire capacitor bank extremely quickly. So this is the entirety of my power generation network for now. I haven't even bothered to turn the little extreme reactors back on yet, although I eventually will, but I don't need them at the moment. This is sufficient. But I just wanted to show you this because I think it's really cool. I like what I did with it. I decorated it primarily with factory blocks from Chisel, fused enlightened quartz from Ender IO, and some more blocks from Chisel. I think it looks quite nice. Also, the angel blocks, just so you know, they are what I used to build this out in the middle of nowhere. An angel block can be placed in thin air. I will show you. You can do this, and it'll go into the air. So normally in vanilla Minecraft, if I'd wanted to build this platform out in the middle of nowhere, I would have had to build a path or a nerd pole all the way over here to start building this. But with the angel blocks, it's possible to just build in midair. And that's exactly what I've done. So the central angel block that I used to start this build remains the cornerstone of this in perpetuity. So it's just here because I want it to be. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go to the nether. Let's right-click on a fracture, and let's see what the emptiness is. I'm sorry, this... I might apply night vision to my helmet, even though it's supposed to be giving night vision already, because this seems a little bit unstable. It's flickering. That's a problem for me off stream. Let's get it on. But I think I might actually apply night vision to this, even though it technically is supposed to be supplying that itself, because that is a little bit obnoxious that it's turning on and off like that, and I'm not quite a fan. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So if we go up. Oh, and also I'm in the game now. I'm in the pack, in case you were wondering. sainagh told me about this. He said, "Congratulations, Rain, you've made it into the pack." I am here, so shout outs for clout, I guess. But if you go over to... Come on. I know I marked it. Did I not? I thought I did. This is the rifts that we're looking for, by the way. This is what they look like. But if we were to... Whoa. I hope the game didn't crash. I pressed M to pull up the map, but the game did not like that. If this is the end, I love you all. Goodbye. Okay, there we go. But anyway, I'm actually in the pack, and if we can find a house, you'll see it. Because there's actually new houses that he added to the roof of the Nether. And I am one of the NPCs that is on them. If we can find one real quick, I'll show it to you. But I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, because I just don't. There it is, there's one. So, also, that is new. I don't remember this structure at all. What are you? What on earth is this? This is a completely new structure. Oh, amphitheater skulls found on the roof in there. Oh, I guess this is in case you can't find amphitheaters in jungles in the overworld. I guess you can find them in this new structure. That's nice to know. Anyway, there's these new houses on the roof of the Nether that have some nice sort of Nether-themed decorations. And there's some people here with some familiar names. So there's Philostrom. There's Tom. And then... Hey! There's Lord Rain. I'm a hedge witch. I'm selling tallow. And I'm selling empty jars and some other things. Very cool. Thanks, sainagh. I'm in the game now. That's the power of clout, kids. If you make YouTube videos for obscure things, you too will one day be able to be in a modded Minecraft pack that nobody plays. I'm just kidding, sainagh. Plenty of people play this pack. Okay, so let's head back real quick to that Thumb Rift. I just wanted to show you because I'm here and I think that's cool. I've never done this, so I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out together. If I take the Voidseer's Caster Gauntlet, that is totally repairing itself over time because of my armor. That is a little bit stupid. If we take this and right-click the rift... Ooh. Okay. That's ominous. Do I just walk into it? Yeah, I think I just touching it works. It just took a second. Okay. Welcome to the Taint Dimension. It's crappy out here. Everything is tainted. At least we can fly in this dimension. Anyway, welcome to the emptiness. It sucks out here. There's nothing of value here except the tattered scrolls. So let's get those and skedaddle. Okay. Alrighty. And put my cool thing back on. Thank you. Alright, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and mark this as home, because we don't want to get lost here. Home. And make that a very bright color that contrasts against the purple-black. We want that to be home. Giant bright beacon. And as we can see, there's like rifts going to other places. It's like sucking things in here. This whole dimension is also made of voidstone, and I think this is like one of the easiest places to get voidstone if you need it for something. Do you have an EMC value? You do. Let me put you on the table real fast. I don't think I have you. Oh, I did. Oh, well. So, got that tainted voidstone. Ew, it's squishy. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. It's gross. Oh, tainticle. Tainted void soil. Oh, this is terrible. I hate everything about this place. This is nasty, tainted crawler. I sure am glad I am invisible and I can fly, because if I couldn't, this would be gross. A taint seed. This is what can happen if you have too much taint in an area. These can form and then like create taint, which sucks. And it becomes a disaster that you have to clean up. I heard there were like fortresses in here that we have to complete, essentially. weird place this is. Okay, so it looks like that purple is just the color that grass has in this dimension, which is a little bit creepy. Is this water, or is this something that's going to hurt me? Oh no, this isn't water at all. Horrifying. It's death. It's just a hole in the universe. I hate it. Let's keep looking. Let's keep poking around. Maybe we have to kill one of the tentacles to get this. I'm going to keep looking. Oh no, this definitely looks like what we're supposed to be doing over here. Nope, I have found the place we need to be. Never mind. Never mind, guys. I think I found it. I'm that guy in the movie who like taps somebody on the shoulder while pointing, and I'm like, hey guys, you're gonna want to take a look at this. Okay, this is ancient stone and eldritch stone. Sweet. I can't break it though, I guess, because this dungeon is locked currently. I'm not gonna be able to break anything in it or around it until we're done. Ancient cobblestone. All this is added by Thaumic. This is Thaumic augmentations. None of this is sainagh. This is Thaumic augmentations is what this is. So to get in, I think we got to go in here. Eldritch Lock. Ancient Barrier. How do we... Oh, we do click on it with that. I was going to say, do I feed it impetus to open it? Yes, I do. Okay. So, ooh, this stuff looks cool. I'm going to totally steal this and bring it back home later to build with. Okay, so. Okay. So we've got an Eldritch Autocaster. Oh, it is following me. This is one of the things that Thaumic Augmentation adds. It's like a turret that casts magic. I feel like it should be shooting me, but I think because I'm invisible, it can't, so... Haha. Get wrecked, I guess. Eldritch Pedestal. Okay, there is a runed tablet. It seems to be part of something larger. It is an Eldritch Lock key. Okay. I can also take that pedestal, and I will. Oh, it's got an EMC value. Sweet. Okay, it looks like it's meant to go into that lock. Okay, but before we put it in there, let's keep going up and see if there's anything clever up here. Okay, that's an Eldritch Lock that's like a square. Okay. And then there's more Eldritch Autocasters. Oh, something disrupts your ability to fly. You can't fly in here. Okay, interesting. I can fly outside, but not in here. Okay. And then all the way up here, there's like a sword slot. Okay, so I'm guessing what we have to do is we're going to have to use... we're going to have to collect keys along the way, I guess, and use it to open up doors in this dungeon. I'm glad we decided to do this. Oh, hey, there's an Eldritch Guardian, but he's not a ghost. Check it out, guys. He's real. He's not a specter. Ooh, I've been waiting to find one of you. I'm gonna complete this as fast as I can, but I'm coming back for you guys later. I'm gonna put you inside a soul-eating torture device. You are gonna love it, buddy. I am gonna just wring everything that you have out of you purely out of spite. It's gonna be the best thing ever. I fell because I'm an idiot. So I'm guessing this goes here. Yes. Okay. Strange crystal. Interesting. Ooh, we have a Lapis Lazuli singularity. Oh, the Eldritch Crabs. I heard about these guys. I think I mentioned these, right? These are the crabs. This is allegedly the origin of crab, I guess. Crabs were once eldritch beings. Who knew? I don't know what these crystals are used for, but I'm taking them. I sure hope I didn't just crash, because that looks like what happened. Hello? Oh, it's cleaning memory right at the worst possible time. I got you. I'm just going to hold block through this and hope I don't die or crash the game. As it turns out, holding block throughout that was the correct move. Nice. Let's go ahead and put some of this stuff in our inventory. Not all of it is useful, and some of it has an EMC value, but we're just going to put it away for now. This is really cool, and I hope I can take this when this is done, because I want that ancient obelisk in my base. More autocasters. Ooh, they drop void metal plates. I should be smashing all of those. I've been walking past them because I didn't want to pick a fight, but that's actually really good. The more we do this, the more certain I am that it is in fact the Vitium spell that is going to give us the scrolls for free. I'm starting to become increasingly certain of that. I'm definitely going to enchant my helmet with night vision. The night vision that this particular thing is giving me is not great. It is in fact quite bad, actually. Aha! Here's another thing to open a lock. spiked sigil. It seems to be part of something larger. So these crabs, now that I've angered one, you'll see it. They're trying to jump on me and decapitate me. That's what they do. Fortunately, I'm blocking with a shield from Tinker's Construct, so they can just get stuffed. It's not going to work. Can you believe there's actually people in the modded Minecraft community who don't use battle signs? Can you believe there's actually people out there right now who think they suck? Man. I can't imagine living my life like that. There's an invisible spider in the corner. I can make those myself, by the way, if I really wanted them. The Eldritch Autocasters, they are essentially, I think I mentioned it, but they are a turret that casts spells in Thaumcraft automatically. They're okay. I've heard that you can essentially use them to make a kind of either an automatic defense or an automatic mob farm, which I guess in packs where you don't have any other options, that's pretty sweet. But this isn't a pack that is lacking on utilities to make automatic mob farms, and also this is not this is not a pack that has any mods that, in my opinion, as far as I know, would necessitate a heavily fortified base with automatic defenses to keep you safe. Now, it might be a different story if Escape and Run is in this mod pack. But it's not, and thankfully I don't think it can ever be, because I don't believe the versions of Minecraft are compatible. I'm pretty sure Escape and Run is for much newer versions of Minecraft. So thankfully, at least for the moment, we don't have to worry about that. For now. sainagh, please, this is not a challenge. Don't add Escape and Run to this pack, please. Please. Okay. I think we have followed this to its end conclusions, so we just need to find where that key goes then. Because I don't think there's anything further down this branching path. Also, I'm very certain now that we have done this that we're not going to be able to do anything else today. Unfortunately, I think once we get that scroll and craft the final thing, that's going to be it. I think. Although I am definitely breaking all of these now because they give void metal plates. And that's pretty good. I don't know why you were aggroed on me, but okay. Let's see. Yes, that is where you fit. Oh, that's horrifying, and I hate everything about it. I didn't realize that until just now, but that's the abdomen of the crabs. It's that helmet. That's not actually a helmet. It's the crab. Look at that. Oh, that's horrifying. That is a whole lot of no. I guess he's drawing a comparison between the crabs in... I think I can see where he's coming from now. in the lore for his pack. He's saying that the crabs from Terra and the crabs from the Twilight Forest that also do this with the Night Helmets are ultimately the descendants, I guess, of... and I know these pots aren't breaking because it's got silk touch, but just give me a minute. They're the descendants of these crabs. That's kind of messed up. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll have to do some research and look up and see if there's a problem with the auto enchanter, because I feel like some of the enchantments that I was trying to do should be applicable, but they may have to be something, because sometimes the auto enchanter from Industrial Foregoing gets a little bit confused. I may have to just try and add some of those enchantments manually on an anvil and see if they'll go on. Because I'm not too surprised, although I'm a bit disappointed that absolutely none of the protections stack. I guess I kind of saw that coming, but the fact that none of the, like, I couldn't put unbreaking on this stuff, really, like, that just seems a little odd. That doesn't seem right. I feel like that definitely should have been a thing. This stone recharges armor, baubles, and hotbar items. Nice. Okay, there's a hallway. This is a labyrinth. We are definitely not going to do this today, unfortunately. There's still like 2 floors above this as well, and this is going to take a while. I don't want to stop halfway through, but if we don't finish this in the next 15 minutes, I might have to. And that is not a great place to be. But I guess it would be awfully suspenseful. It would certainly have you waiting with bated breath for what happens next, right? Showmanship. We also have those new coal stones. The Harbinger coal stone, I think, remember I talked up a lot in the last episode about how sainagh was adding a boss to the Twilight Forest. I believe the Harbinger coal stone is that boss, or at least it's implied to be. If he's planning another boss that's actually going to replace the kobold with the sign, that'd be great. But there is a Harbinger coal stone that I have made using some of the materials that we looked at last episode. And I think that is what's going to allow us to... That's the thing that's going to allow us to progress more, is we need to kill the thing that comes out of that. Whether that is, like I said, whether that is the final boss he was planning, or if he's actually planning to replace the kobold with something as well, I don't know, but we'll see. Either way, shoutouts to sainagh for doing way more work on this pack than was certainly necessary. He did not have to go this hard. Okay. I swung the right thing at me. Now they're all mad at me. Wonderful. That's what you get. Welcome to Battle Sign. I still can't believe there's people out there who don't like battle signs. Man, just jeez. Imagine not liking battle signs. In 2023, Anno Domini, Year of our Lord and Savior. Not liking battle signs. Okay, there we go. Sometimes this game feels like it's about to crash, and it scares me a little bit. We are getting a lot of Thumbcraft materials, though. I also don't know what these crystals are used for, if they're just for decoration, but even if they're just decoration, I want them all because they look neat. About 10 to 15 minutes left before I'm going to have to stop. I don't know if we're going to make it in time. I guess I could stop looting, but I mean, that's just so antithetical to being a gamer. You can't tell me to rush through this dungeon and not loot everything. Come on. I have some pride. Me. I'm just shielding. I'll take you too while I'm here, Eldritch Guardian. I don't know if we're supposed to take advantage of the holes in the floor or not, but I'll come back to that if I can't find a way forwards. I'm also going to have to do some damage tests. I'm just talking aloud to fill in the space, but I'm going to have to do damage tests on great swords. I need to test if that Sever enchantment will allow me to get a weapon that exceeds the power of the glitch sword. Because, like I said, the point of the battle sign is to have the repost, the auto parry, the bounce, to have the reflect inherit the hit of what you're holding in your other hand. That's the point of it. So, great swords are quote-unquote balanced in Advent of Ascension by being much slower to swing. I might have to take that hole that's in the floor. I guess we're taking the hole that's in the floor. That looks like a deliberate hole in the floor, though. I feel like this is supposed to be there. But so they swing slower as a way to like compensate for what they are. But since the battle sign inherits the damage, that doesn't matter, right? The damage it deals is the damage it deals. End of. So it's possible that if I break those, interesting, they turn into Vis crystals of various types. But if I keep them, they stay as strange crystals. Okay, then I'm keeping them as strange crystals just for decoration. I just wanted to test that. Oh, where is this lag coming from? Oh, no. Oh, Lord have mercy. If this is the end, I love you all. Goodbye. Okay. I need to damage test the great swords and see. Because if it's not a huge amount of increased damage, I might just ignore it. But if Sever can stack, there's a few great swords with some very respectable damage numbers tied to them. And if I can get like a weapon that swings over, like, I don't know, 100, this glitch sword might get replaced. We'll see. If I can get something in like the 90s, the high 80s to 90s, we may end up replacing the glitch sword. I don't know how Sever will stack with all the other damage things we can do. I'm guessing the key to the next zone is up here. There's some kind of treasure room up here. It's got some weird treasure, though. Aha! There's the next key. Of course, having done this, I have to go back the other way and check up top of the other one, because there might be stuff up there too. But this is what we needed. This is what we came for, is that. Man, these blocks are so cool. I hope once we get to the end of this dungeon, I'll be allowed to rip this place apart and collect the blocks, because there's some cool stuff in here. I always struggle to decorate the blood alchemy pyramids. I struggle to figure out what I want to decorate them with, what aesthetic I want them to look like. These would look great on the blood alchemy. Like the blood alchemy stuff would look fantastic. with this stuff. No lie, it would look really good. Okay. And I think that's it. We can't get anything else from up here. So let's go back down real fast. And then go back to the other end before going back up to the surface and retracing our steps. Man, I'm moving so fast in the new armor that it's actually a little hard to control myself going down. I might actually have to take my climbing gloves off. There would be tons of fights to deal with in this place if I didn't have Aether. That cloak is always great in every pack that has the Aether in it. It's just so good, and right now it is saving my bacon because this would take twice as long if we had to sit here and fight our way through every single thing. This would be suffering if we had to throw hands with all these guys. Fortunately, I'm invisible, so suck my shorts, get wrecked. Okay, just looks like this one is just various Thumbcraft loots with no particular order of operations, how it functions. Ancient Focus. Ooh, is that a better version of some of the stuff I've already got? It might be. Okay. We are rapidly running out of space, so everything that has a value. That has a value gets put on the tablet. Is there anything else here that has a value? The Quicksilver does. All the Quicksilver drops do as well. Okay, that'll work for now. If we get much more loot, though, we're gonna have to switch backpacks. If you're wondering why I refuse to leave the urns behind, besides pro gamer autism, it is because there's a chance these things can drop the singularities from extended crafting, which saves me a tremendous amount of time and hassle having to try and make them when I will eventually need them later. So free singularities, it's always worth it to break the pots, even if it slows me down. Okay, and where's the path back up? It was here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Alright. Now we just... Aha, but they kind of figured that. Oh wait, no, we can totally run back like this. Okay, never mind then. I thought for a second that this was a fence and I wouldn't be able to slip through the cracks, but we totally can. Okay. We made it back. So, we move on. Give me your stuff. Okay, and you are Tome of Forbidden Knowledge. Yes, you are. You go here. We're getting there. We're almost to the top. Let's see what what we have to do here. Oh, this is a multi-floor climbing thing, is what this is. Okay. Wow, and there's autocasters on the walls and stuff. This would have sucked if I wasn't invisible and didn't have a crazy overpowered sword. So what exactly are we supposed to do here? I might stop breaking urns. I might stop. In fact, you know what? Here's what we're going to do, because we are running out of time. I want to wrap this up. Let's go ahead and do return and loot urns. There we go. This way I will know to come back and break all this. Let's just move on as fast as we can. These Michael Jordan jumps I've got. I could join the Minecraft NBA. Are we supposed to climb these? Is this something we're supposed to be doing? No. It's just a weird room with weird room stuff in it. Okay. Nothing down there, nothing down there. What about down here? Ooh, rare urns. Those contain valuable things. So the normal ones have no ornamentation. The uncommons have like one ring of runes on them. This, right? The rare ones have a ring of runes on both the top and the bottom. Even though I said we're not going to break anything, if we see rare urns, we will break them. Because those are, hey, guess what? Rare. Okay. Man, these blocks look cool. I really hope they let me tear this dungeon apart when we get out of here. Okay, this is the one we already went down, so we've been both sides. So go back again. Okay, there's a place to climb. We'll come back there in just a moment. Is there anything else here? Oh, it sounds, they make the breaking sound when you step on top of them. Okay, and there's another way up. Okay. Where does this go? Close your eyes if this makes you dizzy. I'm sorry. Okay. Is there anything back here? No. Man, it sure would suck having to deal with all these autocasters throwing spells at me. Sure is a shame they were never designed to deal with invisible murder hobos. Asignawali? 4 vis per cast, bolt earth. Oh, did that drop from the autocaster? Did I get the spell it had? Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. sinister blade. It appears to be part of something larger. That is the next key. We found it. And I will come back here and loot all of this later. I will come back and get it, I swear. So, with that out of the way, it does look like there's stuff up here, though. Let me... Since I can physically climb, let me... Oh. Oh. Volgitum. Okay, so some of these are... Okay. Is there anything else I've thrown in here? The Elementium and the Nitor have values. The pedestals have values. Is there anything else that has a value that I can throw on the table here for posterity's sake? The name tag does have a value as well. We'll go ahead and throw that on. It isn't a special name or anything in particular, so we'll just eat that. There we go. Okay. We have the sword. Let me check real quick and see if there's any of these other levels. These all appear to just be... Aha! That's a rare urn. I'm curious as to how you're meant to get up here. I guess the answer is magic, because I don't think there's like climbing gloves or climbing tools in Thumbcraft, but I'm pretty sure there's levitation spells and some other things of that nature, some super jump things that you could use to potentially get up here if you had the right spell combination. The Thumbcraft does let you make your own spells. It has a system for it, but I haven't gone into it because I don't know anything about it. It is a complete mystery to me, so perhaps one day I will explore it. I've heard it can be quite good, but not today. Okay. And this is the last floor, so I think we're almost done. I think we're here. So brace yourselves. That is a differently colored crystal. How ominous. Ancient lantern. Oh. My gamers, this appears to be a boss fight. What are you? Eldritch Altar? Eldritch Obelisk? What on earth is that? Let me guess. Gotta hit him with one of these. What yeah, we do. Chagner Fionn, the Undying. What's up, bro? Well. Oh, hey, and there's our tattered scroll. Thanks, Ice Giant. You tanked like a boss. I'll be. So, can we break everything in here now? Yes, we absolutely can. I'm not going to touch that because that looks spooky. However, I am going to do one of these. Here we go. Boss room, return loot. Okay. Alrighty then. Neat. That was fun, and we did, of course, get a tattered scroll from him, along with an epic shader grab bag from Immersive Engineering, rare treasure, primordial pearl, blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's go ahead and teleport out, I guess. Yeah, we'll go. We'll do the return home. We'll hit him with the old return home. And do I just walk through this? The fracture does not lead anywhere. Uh-oh. I have a medium charge on this. I was wondering about this. Do I need to... Am I not going to be able to return here unless I charge another gauntlet? Should I have brought a thing, right? One of the astral gates here and set one up or not? I thought about it, but I decided not to. If this isn't the way home, how does one get out of here? So I figure there's got to be two ways, right? Either you open up another fracture to escape, like you open up one of these, or you jump out of the world. You jump off of a cliff, right? And you fall out of here. But I don't know if I want to test that or not. So let me hit you with one of these, because I don't want to open a fracture to this place in the overworld. These different spots seem to look like places where they lead out of, right? The blocks around them. Let me see if I can find another one with nether or end. Here's one. We just started here. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we have enough charge to open this. And this will take us, I'm suspecting this will take us to the end. Yes, it does. Then I'm going to do one of these, and then I'm going to hit him with one of these. And we're going to do a little bit of this, because if I want to come back here, I don't want to fall. I could have just slashed home, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do it the right way. So, we're done, essentially, but there is one thing we're going to do before we stop. Okay, and you may be able to guess what it is, knowing me. We're going to make that Vitium, and then I'm going to go into the Dreadlands, far, far away. We're going to use it, and I want to see if it's the one that gives more Tattered Scrolls. Because I did make that wager. I wanted to see if I was right. And by the way, while we're here, I'm sorry. Take this off. Listen, I appreciate you, Myth Knighthood. Whoa, that is lag. Whoa. Whoa, that is lag. Okay, there we go. I appreciate you, Myth Knighthood, but you are definitely getting night vision forced onto you. You will not accept night vision. Okay. I think this may be the enchantment applicator being a little bit screwy. Because I know you can... I've had this trouble before with it trying to apply night vision to a helmet and it couldn't. Remember, we had this trouble with the blood helmet, but using it on a vanilla anvil might. I might take some of these and try and apply them to the armor with a vanilla anvil, and we'll see how that shakes out. What that does. We might do a bit of that. But... let me... let's make one of these. Tattered scroll. We are definitely doing this in the Dreadlands. Right. And it makes the spells pretty quick. And it should output here. Yep, Master Spell Vitium. There we go. So, how are we gonna finagle this? I'll tell you. I thought about this because I wanted to do it in a dimension I didn't care about in case these have stupendous drawbacks, in case they do something really ridiculous. I'm taking Sainagh's warning on that front very seriously. So what we are going to do is we're going to go to the Dreadlands, and then I'm going to teleport very, very, very far away using my old friend Journey Map. And we are then going to use the Vitium spell. And we're going to stop there. I'm going to let it be a teaser. We're going to use Vitium and nothing else. And we'll see how well we do. Also, I thought I destroyed this Omethal portal. Get out of here. I've mentioned several times my distrust and disdain for Meatballcraft portals and how they're not made very well. So, let's open up our old friend waypoint, and then let's go ahead and make a new waypoint directly on us. So, let's go ahead and edit the geolocation of this. Let's go ahead and take it to, let me see, what is Y level? Okay, the Y level is the up and down level. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do one of these. Y, I don't know, 130. Then we're going to go location, 10,000, Z, 10,000. We're going to call this Neverland, because like Neverland, you have to fly through the sky and follow the North Star straight on until morning to get there. It is a ludicrous distance away, as is appropriate. It's also high in the sky. Let's go ahead and get in our Terra Steel boat, or actually, I can't take fall damage, so we won't do that just yet. Let's just teleport there for now. Okay. Excellent. We are now outrageously far away from anything that matters. We're very far away. And let's go ahead and edit that level down to, where are we right now? 79? Let's call that 80. Let's split the difference and call that 80. Edit from 130 to 80. Excellent. Okay. Welcome to Neverland. We are in a place far, far, far away. So, I don't care if this dimension gets jacked up, because it's already about as jacked up as a dimension can be. So are you guys ready? Let's use the Vitium spell and find out. We are going to F around, and we are going to find out. Are y'all ready for this? I don't know what's going to happen. I have no clue what's going to happen. Death, maybe. Actually, I should probably eat chicken first, because who knows, having full hunger saves me. There we go. Alright, Vitium. 3, 2, 1, go. An unknown carrier occurred while attempting to perform this command. Oh, it summoned everybody! It summoned everyone! Okay. 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 I see. And they're all fighting each other. Everyone's fighting everyone. That is a crazy looking Crimson Knight. That dude looks like a Space Marine from 40K. He is 98% shoulder. That is nuts. That's a Crimson Praetor is what that is. Okay. I gotta hit that portal, or they're gonna keep on coming. I'm guessing this is a boss fight that's essentially going to give me a scroll when it's done. Probably from the big guy. the Ice Giant didn't last very long. Let's try the Skeleton Legion. How do y'all hold up? Pretty well. They ran his fade. Holy cow. The Skeleton Legion upgraded to Strays beat the crap out of that big dude. And we got more Tattered Scrolls. I was right. I was right. This is where we get Tattered Scrolls from. We also got 3 Primordial Pearls. Wow. And we also have some of these crates that we can claim as well. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Cool, cool. Good to know. Crimson Cultists are crazy, but I cannot deny they do have swag. I think it's because he's buffed skeletons so much in this pack, they actually do a ton of damage when they swing. I think the skeletons just hit like a freight train. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the Vitium spell, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to stop there for today, because we have done this for quite a while. We've done quite a bit. We've accomplished a lot. And we will go ahead and put the Master Spell Vitium there. We will call that finished. But we have a whole slew of other spells to work our way through. And also, maybe next time we'll go to space. Who knows? But this has been... Oh, and I forget, I can make the challenge tickets to fight the even bigger Gaia Guardian. We're not going to run out of stuff to do. We've still got stuff to do. And I still have these call stones we can make that we can use. I'm not quite sure what's... I think the cleansing call stone, I know what it's going to do. Because he added a bee to this pack that creates soap. There's a soap bee now. The cleansing soap that you need in Thumbcraft to scrub taint away. Yeah, he added a sanitizing bee. And it produces blocks of flesh and sanitizing soap. I'm pretty sure the cleansing callstone is probably going to give me the sanitizing bee. Don't know what the Harbinger callstone is, but that's Twilight Forest related, maybe the new final boss for Twilight Forest. And Call of the Haunted, I don't know what that's going to do either. I have no clue what that does. But either way, I think we will call it for here. I think we're done. I think we're out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a /home. We're going to teleport back. I am going to lag, apparently. Lagging is what I'll be doing. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. If it crashes, I love you. Good night. Okay, there we go. I didn't. All right. Omethal Warp Cleanser. There. We reset all the warp we just gained. And now we're really done for real. I will work on the rocketry stuff in the background. I will have as much of that ready as I can for the future. And also, the next time you see me, hopefully a lot of this huge disaster sprawling crap out here will be cleaned up and moved downstairs into the new space, which I'm quite proud of. I really like the way it looks. And hopefully the matter energy system, I'll also have finished setting it up, and I will have ported all of my storage into it and connected it all up. And also, I don't think I have shown it yet, but there is... I've mentioned before that there's something you can do to the matter energy storage to make it wireless. I have most of what I need for that. Not quite all of it yet, but I have most of it. Let me see. I think it was over here. It was one of the things I was working on before I decided to just move forwards with this episode. I'm not sure where it is, but it's somewhere around here. Anyway, I've got that all set up. But this has been Meatballcraft's Dimensional Ascension Jimmy Heaters Edition, aka We Got Lost in the Emptiness Edition, also known as I don't know why my computer keeps running out of space when it has 140 gigs of space and it just refuses to allocate it in an intelligent manner or use it smartly, no matter what I tell it to do edition. I'm definitely not resentful at all edition. And I hope you all enjoyed watching it. Good night, dear watchers. Good night.